Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Let's freaking go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fire this thing up. Let's focus this thing. Let's prepare it. We have the technology, bigger, faster, stronger. We've got TGMD in the house along with Brian Hartman. Hopefully C will join at some point today. C, if you're out there, we love you. Hopefully he'll jump in and join us at some point today. It's an utterly outstanding day to be alive and well with you. I'm fired up because I'm heading down to see the Fly Boys tonight. Let's go. Fresh off a win in the Montreal Forum, getting ready to take Nashville by storm. So if you see me down there tonight, I'd like to see you. I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to hang out with you if you're going to be in the Nashville area. Let me read to you.
You doing a Flyers Reddit meet and greet before, Tom?
I'd love to, man. I'd love to meet some of those knuckleheads down there. That's not a bad idea, Matt. I'd have put on there that I'm going to be down there.
It's a big city. It's a destination for opposing fans of all sports.
Yes, it is, particularly football, since the Titans are not a serious organization. I think the Predators at least try. Now, they signed a bunch of guys last year, and it didn't work out for them. But speaking of trying, and we've invited Blake Toppmeyer, who 1 hour from now will be on with us, but this is what he wrote today. Josh Heupel, leave Tennessee and the posse behind, head to Penn State. This is from Blake Toppmeyer, and I would like my panel to respond to this, and I'd like you to respond to this as I ask, what of the remaining 2 Southeastern Conference games do you find more difficult as you think about it? The Vanderbilt game here or the Florida game down there? A Vanderbilt team that's, how do we put it, in contention, alive and well for a playoff berth, yada, yada, yada. Or a Florida team that, I don't know. I don't even know what's going to be left of them by the time we get there. By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be crying. By the way, I saw a thing the other day. Glenn Campbell, the first time he heard Jimmy Webb play Wichita lineman, he cried. Carol Kay cried in the studio. It's a great song. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, let's go back here. So this is written by Blake Toppmeyer. Let me read it to you. Josh Heupel, and by the way, Blake Toppmeyer was with the News Sentinel for a while. He does a podcast with John Adams. He's been here. He knows. He's done that. He's listened to the chatter. Okay, let's put it that way in our fan base. He writes the following. Josh Heupel, set your phone to ring, turn up the volume, because if somebody calls from a Pennsylvania area code, answer. Because the natives are getting restless in Tennessee. In case you haven't noticed, here's Heupel's chance to stay one step ahead of the Tennessee posse. Penn State needs offense. Penn State needs a quarterback developer. Penn State needs a coach who might occasionally beat a chief rival. That's Heupel's theme music. Cue it. For a time, Heupel's theme music sounded like second sweetest tune in all of East Tennessee. You're not going to top Rocky Top. Now his tune is off key. Former Vol quarterback turned podcaster Jonathan Crompton recently dubbed Heupel Tennessee's James Franklin. Surely he's not the first to make that comparison. Fans are hot under the collar after Tennessee's loss to Oklahoma that eliminated the Vols from playoff contention. Supportive media types are stumbling all over themselves as they rush to Heupel's aid, pushing their agenda. The hot seat talk for Heupel is absurd. Of course it's absurd. But when media mouthpieces insist a coach isn't on the hot seat, that's the canary in the coal mine. Franklin went from not on the hot seat to fired in the span of 2 weeks. Same thing happened with LSU and Brian Kelly. A coach either stays ahead of the posse or the posse eventually catches him and treats him like, well, ribbon bullies treated Kramer. Or win a national championship. Those are your options, and those are your only options. He goes on. Tennessee's not a bad job. Penn State's not a distinctly better job than Penn State. You could argue they're two sides of the same coin. Good jobs. Both of them, high expectations at each. If I'm a coach like Heupel, who's never won a playoff game, I'd feel a whole lot more comfortable in year 1 or year 2 than I would heading into year 6, as Heupel will be entering at Tennessee next season. Heupel raised the bar too high too quickly. He'll struggle to ever surpass 2022. That magical season became coffee table book material, literally. At Penn State, he'd reset his clock, chart a fresh course, and maybe create some new literature. Heupel owes the Vols no royalty or loyalty. He owes the Vols no loyalty pledge. Tennessee is indebted to him. Heupel stepped in at Tennessee's dire hour after Jeremy Pruitt. Pruitt, dubbed cornbread by Vol fans, soaked the program in kerosene. Tennessee's administration and the toothless NCAA made sure a match never ignited the fuel, and they toasted Pruitt instead. Heupel took care of the rest. He pulled the Vols back from the abyss. By Heupel's second season, Hooker slinging touchdown passes, Neyland Stadium goalposts were swimming in the river, and Nick Saban left town a loser. The phrase feels like 98 stopped being sarcasm, and then Heupel broke through the playoff padlock last year. But now it's a what have you done for me business, though. The Big Orange ache for a national championship as badly as any fan base. This team in Heupel's 5th season won't sniff one. Tennessee slinked out of the playoff picture first day of November. No one with reasonable expectations should be shocked. Heupel had tepidly restocked his roster with just a handful of transfers. And then the starting quarterback, called it quits, packed up, and left for the left coast in April. That development did not portend a playoff pursuit. But rabid fans, with reasonable expectations, sort of contradictory, you know? If Heupel loses, what is this? My phone is just... If Heupel loses to either Florida or Vanderbilt this month, let's face it, the Vols could lose both rivalry games. And if next season looks similar to this one, well, I don't need to tell you where this ends for him. Heupel would be a treasure for Penn State as he once was for the Vols. As Heupel stock absorbs a hit in Tennessee, candidates with his credentials remain in short supply within this wild coaching carousel. He'd be a boon for Penn State. Now's his time to strike while his resume remains catchy. So, here's my question for Blake Toppmeyer, who goes on and on and on and on and on with this thing. He says the Heupel-Franklin comparison misses the mark. Heupel is better against top 25 opponents. He beat Saban in his second attempt. He beat Saban's successor, Kalen DeBoer, in his first try. Franklin never beat Ryan Day. And yet those comparisons are being made at Tennessee. And the good vibes from 2022 have turned to mist. So I had to skip to the bottom. Look, here's the thing. And I'm going to ask Blake this in an hour. You tell me that Heupel's going to go 8-4 or 7-5 here. How are you going to sell that to Penn State? But we've seen crazier things here. And we've seen searches go off the rails. And I have had that thought in the back of my mind that, because I don't think Heupel's going to like the heat. And I'll tell you this right now, I don't think Danny and Heupel are going to enjoy it if Tennessee loses to Vanderbilt, which ties me to my second question. First question is, what do you think of Toppmeyer's article? Is that food for thought that Josh Heupel could jump somewhere and restart his clock, get involved with another job? Is that food for thought? Secondly, what do you think about him at a place like Penn State? Here's one thing about Heupel that just came to my mind. Not a Southern guy. He's not a I've done all my work in the South guy. He's coached at various spots. He's from the Dakotas, played ball at Oklahoma, which is the Midwest, coached at Utah, which is Big Sky. He doesn't have like an accent or anything like that. I mean, he'd fit right in at Penn State. He'd fit right in there. And he would certainly be a lot more fun. His brand of football would be a lot more appealing to the eye than James Franklin's football. So I think you could sell that to a place like that. And before somebody dismisses that an article like this is clickbait, I do think we're in an era where anything's in play. Anything's in play. I was exchanging texts with Bino about this today, and Bino said today you can't discount anything. And you got to think about everything. But I wonder if Blake just kind of comes up with that, or does somebody whisper that in his ear? I got to ask Blake that next hour. And then of our final two games, what's the most difficult of the two games? And then of our final two games, what's the one that matters to you the most? That's our topic for today. Say I said to you in a perverse and sick way, you had to rank those wins in terms of what you want to see the Vols do. Bri, you go first. What do you think of Toppmeyer's article? Is that food for thought that a guy like him could say, you know what, I'm going to get heat down there in Knoxville. I'm going to get heat in that place. I'm going to restart my clock, go somewhere where they appreciate me. Because that is the unfortunately, that's the era we're living in for players, coaches, and everybody involved in this deal. And until they get guardrails on this sport where they start collective bargaining with players, it's going to be a year-to-year proposition here, there, and everywhere. Pick up football in $1 billion sport.
Well,
it's what they've done. Go ahead, Bri.
I find it ironic that Penn State is who we're talking about, and that's where he got James Banks from. And I do think he could restart his clock by making a few staff changes that could include James Banks. So there's some irony there. Also, is he any closer? Would he be any closer to beating Ohio State at Penn State than he is to beating Georgia at Tennessee? Now, I know that you don't have to win all your games to make a playoff, but that's the thing they're going to want from him right away is to beat Ohio State. And his last time facing Ohio State didn't quite go the way you'd want.
Matt Dixon, your thoughts on that article? Because I know we compare him to James Franklin, right? But I think he's better than Franklin now because he has signature wins and Franklin doesn't.
Yeah, I don't really know where that comparison comes from. But, I mean, if in a 12 and 16 team playoff, being James Franklin means you're in the playoffs more times than not. So I don't know why that would be viewed as a bad thing, kind of like the Rick comparisons. it's a brand new era where all you've got to do is get in the playoffs, and that's the point. You can go 9-3 and do that. I just think all this like that just seems like a parody article. Like it's like an April Fool's, article that got published in early November. I mean, why limit it to the Penn State job? Why not throw the Florida job out there or LSU or hell, yeah, the Tennessee Titans, who wouldn't even have to move, go develop Cam Ward with the Titans. I mean, let's throw that out there. I mean, if we're just going to recklessly throw these names out with other jobs, why not get Tim Banks involved with the Penn State job? They'll become the high scoring games if Tim Banks is up there. Let him go back up there. He'd give up a lot of points. That'd be exciting.
Yep. Who Bry called James Banks.
Let's just make a mockery of the whole thing.
And by the way, I would like to have James Banks instead of Tim Banks at this point. The smoke defense. All right, so Matt, rank them for me. What's the most difficult game? What's the game that means most to you? Winning at Florida or beating Vanderbilt here?
Florida's the most difficult. Obviously, I haven't won there in 20 years. They're really talented. Doesn't matter who the coach is. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Tennessee always finds a way to embarrass themselves in Gainesville. So that's obviously the hardest. But you got to win the Vanderbilt game. You can't lose the third time at home this year. You can't lose to the in-state school that's having their best season ever. You got to win that game at home at the end of the year.
I want to get this in too because they've reached out to me. There are tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of tickets for Sunday's scrimmage, the orange and white scrimmage for baseball. Usually this is something that is tremendously highly attended. And there are tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of tickets. And I just want to get out there that it's going to be over at Covenant Health Park where the Smokies play. Downtown Knoxville, gates open at 3:30 on Sunday. They're going to have a tremendous amount of food, fun, and frivolity for everybody. It's a great chance to bring kids to something like that and get up close and personal with the baseball team of 2026 that should compete for a national championship. So, but Matt, they tell me it's been a very slow, because generally Tony gets on the shows, and beats the drum for this thing, and they've kind of gotten caught in the middle here. And baseball was supposed to be at Nashville, but that happened right as Tony left. What was the timeline of that was that the Sunday, the day after they announced that it was going to be Elander, they were supposed to play, and they had weather down there, so they called that one off. But I just want to put that out there. We're going to put it in the blog tomorrow as well. Matt, to somebody that's never been to one of those things, talk to me here.
Well, the team's very accessible. They take it serious between the lines, but they'll sign autographs. Vitello used to basically walk around the field taking pictures with fans steering most of it. It's a great way to get to know who's on the team, and see some guys. It's kind of like what the football orange and white games used to be, where you'd have like a fan day type deal. Back before all that became just totally corporate and buttoned up. I guess you don't even do them now. You don't even have the games. But no, it's a fun thing for families. It's just a really cool event for kids to take their glove, take a ball, get it signed by people, get a hat signed. They do really well, and that's one thing that Vitello was just so good at, was just knowing the marketing impact that his program can have.
Killer Dude says LSU needs an AD. Why don't they just hire Danny White and Heupel as a combo package, Matt? Why don't we just throw that out there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantasy sports.
Randy Wood could run for governor down there too. Just throw it all in there. Let's just get stupid with all of it.
It's fantasy sports.
We can have them going to Arkansas, and we can have them going to Oklahoma State.
It's fantasy sports now, guys.
Do that. Let's go to Oklahoma State, Brian.
By the way,
Heupel go to Oklahoma State.
That's right, Brian. That's right.
That's going to work.
Yeah, Brian. Why don't you throw something out there, Brian, that's not going to happen, Brian? Good gosh, man. You guys. I mean, we all have to do better here. We'll do that in the next segment. I want to hear from you at 865-200-5402. Blake Toppmeyer says, Josh Heupel, I got some advice for you. Take the Penn State job. Go get involved with it. What do you think, Living Vol fan? Do you appreciate Heupel more now that you think about somebody coveting thy neighbor's coach? And what happens if he put his name in the mix for some of these gigs? Is he attractive? What do you think? And then, because this is, you really got to keep your head, as Soccer Dave told me, and he learned this on the pitch. You got to keep your head on a swizzle, as Buzz Peterson once told us. You got it, Ben Zorio. You got to keep it on a swizzle. The head's got to stay on a swizzle at all times. And I remember those swizzle stick straws. Those were incredible. You got to keep your head on a swizzle. But we'll go to our TLD Logistics phone lines as we continue on the other side. A day where I'm pumped, as I'm going to see the Flyers play later tonight. Now, I'm just fired up, folks, and prepared. I don't know what to say for myself right now. As we continue with more, you tell me, what's the harder of our two SEC games left? At Florida, Vanderbilt here. Which one means more to you? Personally, I'm sick and tired of losing to Florida. It would be great to end that series. Because it's been how long we've been playing them? 33 years, 34? They've terrorized us. It's been a terror. Our record against them is terrible. On the blog today, over at tclub.team, and Brian did the research. Everybody wins in Gainesville but us! After this, Urban Meyer left, after his crime spree. Once Urban Meyer leaves, everybody wins down there but us. Everybody. But us. Georgia Southern? I mean, are you kidding? Comrade Golish? Are you kidding? Florida State like 19 times? Are you joking? Arkansas? What? Continue with more right after this. Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations. Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com.
Cold weather is on its way, and keeping your home warm and cozy doesn't have to cost a fortune. Upgrade your HVAC system with Pipe Wrench Home Services and get payments as low as $137 per month. You'll also save on utility bills with a new energy-efficient HVAC system to keep your home warm and comfortable through the holidays. We make it easy with free on-site estimates on replacements and free second opinions on repairs. So call or schedule your appointment online today at pipewrench.com. and get a new energy-saving HVAC system for as little as $137 per month. We are committed to keeping your home cozy and worry-free this holiday season. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Check this out.
Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Whoa. I like that. 865-200-5402. My man Alan at WeShipFloors.com and your Tennessee hardwood report. The Vols got the Norse in town. I'll be in here doing the Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime. And I'll ask the following as he reminds me that 40% off, ladies and germs. They're having a Black Friday sale. He's the manufacturer. He can do that. You don't have to have anybody answer to. He's a manufacturer. Free shipping all across our country. WeShipFloors.com. Go check out that website. See what we're talking about. Go to YouTube and watch those videos of him taking a piece of lead and pounding. Matt, why are we playing a basketball game at 3 o'clock on a Saturday when Thompson Boring Arena is open for business around the clock? What are we doing?
I'm not real sure. I would say for TV, but if you have YouTube TV, it's not on there either.
I think it's an ESPN Plus game or SEC Network Plus game anyway, isn't it? So it can't be TV.
SEC Network Plus means you have to have a subscription to watch.
That's right, Brian. We were locked out of it the other night. We had to break down. Go ahead and give it to me. Break down, baby, take me through the night. We had to break down, and Laura said it's a principle of it. I said, Laura, because she didn't want to do it, Matt. I said, sweetie, we've got a studio in our house, and we're doing a sports show, and Alex is over here to do a post-game show. So I think we kind of need it. She goes, you're right. But you hate letting them win, Matt.
The Egyptian pirated stream?
No, Matt, you hate letting them win, don't you? You hate it.
I listen to Mike Keith. I didn't let him win.
There you go. I hate letting them win. How'd Mike Keith sound, Matt?
He was good. He was really good. I've never heard him call. I've actually never heard him really do the football stuff either because I'm always there. So, but no, he was really, really good.
One point about the disputes that these cable providers have.
Yep.
I think the cable providers want to keep costs low for their consumers.
Yep.
But ESPN is the problem here. And you get rid of one that has a dispute, you're going to get on to somebody else in about a year's time. They're going to have a dispute too. So that's just something to think about. Because they fight with everybody that has their channels.
They're total pigs, Brian. ESPN's a bunch of pigs because you got to pay Stephen A. Smith $18 million a year. And let me ask you something. Why does Stephen A. Smith make $18 million a year when his TV show has about 100,000 viewers every day? And who among us subscribes to their channel because that moron's on there? And some of these other morons, these fake argument shows like Pat McAfee.
You talk about niche.
Or you download his Solitaire app.
Who's that?
Stephen A. Smith.
What's
Have you not seen that stuff the last couple of days?
No.
How stupid that is.
Does it scream at you while you're playing solitaire?
I hope it better. You better blow your phone up if you're dumb enough to do that.
And the thing is, right? Like somebody's saying it's Disney, not ESPN, but it is ESPN though. They've got to pay these leagues these tremendously inflated rates. They're paying way too much for the NBA, way too much for it, and you're going to cover the cost of it to make the billionaires rich. That's just like municipalities. I don't understand this, and I'm a sports guy, and I don't understand this. Okay. And I love sports. Like, I'm driving down to see see my Flyers play because, it kind of connects me to my youth. And my dad's not here, and he took me to my first Flyers game and all that. So it's a warm and fuzzy. And I'm going with my son tonight. Why are these municipalities building arenas and stadiums for these billionaire owners? Why are the taxpayers and the people that work in those areas that are going to get charged thousands and thousands of dollars to go to sporting events paying for that? And I'm a sports guy. I love sports, but it makes zero sense to me. It's nonsensical. It's utterly not. It's kind of like thinking about Danny White at UT this past year going, okay, well, we're just going to like double your tickets in some cases. And then after that, we're going to charge you a talent fee on top of that. And by the way, you're going to pay it. At some point, people are going to go, you know what? This is enough. Now, we haven't had our tea party yet in sports, but we're going to have our tea party at some point. We are. And this conversation about Heupel sort of ties to this because these coaches now are in untenable situations where the minute you have a season that goes off the rails, people come after you. The days of, oh, Johnny Majors, he's our coach, and he going to be here for 16 years, and Philip Fulmer's one of us, and he going to be here for another 16, and we're going to have two coaches in 30 years. Those days are gone, and I mean forever. I mean forever. And even winning a national championship doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't matter. Look at how the Ohio State people, Matt, last year were treating Ryan Day, Matt, after he lost to Michigan. I mean, and this is what they've done to us. They've done this to us. And they've created a system where these players are only here for a hot minute. I mean, a real veteran player might play on your team for 3 years now. Before, you get to know a guy 5 years. You'd see him come in at 18. He'd leave at 22 or 23. He'd call your thing home. Everybody knew him. You saw the family, the whole thing. Everybody saw him at the tailgates, you know. And now it's like, oh, I think I remember you. Somebody mentioned to me the other day a basketball player that we had, because they were comparing a current member of the team with a guy that we had here. And he goes, you remember, he was a guy they brought in under Barnes about 4 or 5 years ago, kind of a mid-major guy, and he could sort of score a little bit, but he was sort of an off guard, but he didn't play much. And I'm sitting there going, I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, some of you would remember, and then he said his name. He looked it up online, and I went, I don't remember that guy. Oh, yeah, he played. I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad he played. That's the era we're in. That's the era we're in. But we'll go to the phones. 865-200-5402. So when Blake Toppmeyer writes what he wrote today, I wouldn't dismiss it out of hand. I wouldn't dismiss out of hand that Josh Heupel and his agent would try to get involved with something else. I wouldn't dismiss that. Would you dismiss that, Matt? Out of hand?
No, not totally, because of, like you said, just the stupid era we're in.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean it's not just a ridiculous, topic and thing to talk about. I don't know. It's
exhausting.
It's just so off. It's just so off-putting.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just stupid.
Yeah. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on our TLD Logistics phone line. Hi, welcome in. Welcome to the show.
Tony B, what's going on? It's Rod in Clarksville.
Clarksville, what's up, my man?
Hey, Tony, I just want to say, between Matt and Brian and yourself, I've been listening to this show and enjoying everything for the last 2 years. I've probably just been on and calling for 2 years, but I just want to let y'all know that y'all are my extended family, and I trust y'all, with what y'all, come up with and say on the show. And I love the fact that y'all, give people a chance to come on and, give their disagreement or agreement.
Yep.
But I really think that this situation right now with Heupel, I think Danny is, one of his best friends, and he brought him here to be here. And I hate to see fans, jump the gun and want him gone and this, there, and that. But just as sure as you and Laura pay taxes, Danny White is not getting rid of Josh Heupel.
Oh, that's not what this is about. This is about him staying out ahead of, if they go 6-6 next year. And look, he gonna have a young quarterback next year. And one thing I saw this year is our fan base doesn't understand that when your quarterback's not equipped or you're in a spot with your quarterback. I mean, they're working on a 9-3 season with a guy that walked in here in May, and people are in freak-out mode after the Oklahoma loss.
Well, the thing of it is, we all know that next year we got a harder schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And if Josh Heupel does happen, if Blake Toppmeyer's right, and the rumors, wherever he got this from is right, and Josh happens to leave, we are definitely hoping that he takes his defensive coordinator with him. Because the thing of it is
it's an incredible line.
The only person next year that could come in here with the schedule we have to make our fans happy would be Lane Kiffin. Go Vols.
Well, that's funny, right? Because if he walked out of here, all of a sudden somebody would say to me, what would be a more attractive job for Lane Kiffin, Florida, LSU, or Tennessee? And Matt, what's the answer to that? Because I think Lane Kiffin would crawl back here. That job up.
I mean, if he's in the playoffs, staying at Ole Miss.
Back to the phones we go, and that's the other thing about the sport. Guys that are winning that people want to hire, if you do that, you got to take a step back for at least 2 years. Because if you're hiring a guy that's in the playoffs, how do you execute all that with the way these timelines all lay one on top of the other? How do I prepare for a playoff game with my players and take a job elsewhere? This is the most, what they've done to this sport, don't even get me started. It makes no sense. But you're on the air. Welcome in on our Thursday edition.
Tony, this is Sooner Magic from Kansas City. How you doing?
Hey, brother. Welcome in, Sooner Magic.
Appreciate it. First-time caller, long-time listener, and just kind of wanted to shed some light a little bit for you Vol fans. You've been talking this week a little bit about Josh and hiring his friends and some of that coaching staff, and kind of want to effectively blame a little bit of the Sooner Nation for that. We over here have a tendency of doing the same, where, huge fan of Bob Stoops, huge fan of the Oklahoma program. I love everything that we do, but we definitely hire some of our friends and some of the guys we've played with coaches and with teams. It goes back to Bob Stoops from the beginning and our offensive coordinators and the connection to Kansas State with Brent Venables and the connection to Iowa with Chuck Long and so on and so forth. Obviously, your coach and Coach Heupel, and even as recent as Jeff Levy, and last year our disaster of our offensive coordinators with Joe John Finley and what we're doing as a team. I want you to know you guys have a great coach. He is awesome, and I think you guys sometimes take that for granted, as we do in Norman. But I just want you to know that I think he's fantastic. I think you guys should give him a little bit more love because he is special. But I do think that the coaching thing and the tree that goes along with it sometimes is high in college football and football in general. But we have the same tendencies over here in Norman.
So Norman, you're telling me that's an insular deal there. That's a very much a clannish kind of insular, kind of surround yourself with your friends deal, and even Stoops did that, is what you're saying.
I am. Even Seth Luttrell, he was our offensive coordinator last year, and he got he obviously wasn't the perfect fit, and he had a bunch of injuries, and you guys came to town and beat up on us, and after that game, he was let go. But he played at OU when Venables was on that staff. So I do think that there is a lot of that, and we're certainly close to it in Norman and OU, and you guys are very close to it there. Jeff Levy, who's obviously now at Mississippi State, he was an OU guy and was a part of that team. So I just think it's a lot in these programs and in these schools, but we definitely see it. You know, Cale Gundy was a guy who was an offensive coordinator for us who played quarterback at OU. There's just a lot of, I hate to use the term incestual, Tony, but there's definitely a lot of that goes on, I feel like, in college sports and certainly in Norman, and you're seeing it in Knoxville.
Matt, do you have any thoughts for this Sooner fan who's found our show, who's providing I think an excellent perspective on this whole thing?
No, I agree with everything he said. I like his take on it, and he's kind of one of the reasonable fans that aren't very vocal online, it seems like, these days. So it's a really good take, and from a similar perspective as a Tennessee fan, just with where the programs are at.
Because I hear this, Sooner Magic. I hear that if you guys lose a couple games down the stretch, they're going to move on from this wonderful defensive coach who hasn't moved the bar to Oklahoma standards in the league just yet. But, boy, that would not be taken into consideration, the very difficult schedule you guys have had and the kiss that Texas had when they first came into the league. I don't know why people don't talk about that more, but that's certainly the truth. Could you imagine Texas, the way they performed this year, if they would have played Oklahoma's schedule or would have played it out? And I realize they started the season with the game at Ohio State, but other than that, it's been Cupcake City for them.
Well, and I would say, Tony, like, we obviously welcome to the SEC with 2 years. These first 2 years have been brutal.
Yeah.
But it's I don't care who the schedule is, you got to show up and play. And we've been dealt a tough one, to say the least. But I just am fearful that if we were to lose to Alabama next week and then lose to Missouri and lose to LSU, Brent Venables wouldn't survive that. And, there's already, 8, 9, 10 coaching jobs that are out there. And as much as I love OU, and I think we are fantastic, we're the 4th, 5th, 6th best job that's open out there. If that were to happen, who are you going to go hire? Who are you going to bring in?
And that's the point.
To make things better when you've got all these other jobs that are out there. And I love Coach Venables. I hope we can find a way to get it done. But if you told a Sooner fan before the season they're going to go 9-3, and they're going to lose to Alabama, they're going to lose to Ole Miss, and they're going to lose to Texas, a lot of people wouldn't love it, but a lot of them were like, that's a good season considering the schedule.
Right.
And so there's a balance, I think, a little bit between it, but I'm hopeful that he can find – I mean, winning at Alabama will be really challenging, but I think with what's going on in Missouri and LSU, there's a chance that they could win those 2 games because they got them at home. But it's just it's tough. I'm hopeful that he can survive, because if we go try to find a coach in this landscape right now, I'm highly concerned about who they would bring in, because there's not a lot of coaches, and there's a lot of great jobs out there right now.
Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you. And please call us again. Please stay in touch, It's a great compliment to our program that you're out there listening to us. And, man, the Sooner fans I was around last week, all weekend, down at Calhoun's and around the community, God, you guys are just wonderful people. So, wanted to beat you Saturday, but you guys are wonderful people. There's no doubt politically you were dealt the shorthand when you and Texas come into the league, and they do that to you guys schedule-wise. Obviously, what happened on offense the last couple of years hasn't helped matters either. But let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome to our next call. You're on the air. Welcome in.
Tony, CK Bogey.
Hey, Bogota, not in Columbia. Welcome in.
Yeah, Matt, Bryony, how y'all today?
We're good. Go for it.
Yep. So I wanted to get to this thing on Heupel, but I did want to start off with a thing about YouTube TV. So I'm a subscriber.
Yep.
But I also, a year ago, went to Hulu and got the the Trinity package.
Yep.
ESPN, Disney, Hulu.
Yep.
I called them up before the Tennessee game this week, and said before the one that was when they took everything off Saturday. I called them and I said, "Listen, what can you do? Can you give me everything on ESPN? How can I upgrade the package?" They said, "Yeah, we offer that. It's $7. It's a promotional thing for a year. $7 more added to your package, which mine was $32.
Yep.
And now it's whatever.
Yep.
And said next year after the promotional thing is over, it goes to $44.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Here's one thing that's great about this. Anything, and I mean anything they show, which in the past years I couldn't watch baseball when they were on the Plus. You couldn't watch women's anything on the Plus. Anything Tennessee Plus, you couldn't watch it. Now I got everything. So for $7 more a month, it's worth it to me. I don't know a solution for everybody, but I'm just saying I had YouTube TV. Now I've got everything I want on ESPN, the app. Since they upgraded the app, I think it's an improvement.
So do you still have YouTube TV too?
I do have that.
Yeah. I wonder, like Brian says. I wonder, like Brian says, if one of these carriers eventually looks at ESPN and say, "We're not going to play." So, and I wonder how many subscriptions YouTube will lose, because the ESPNs of the world, they want you to buy that app for $40 a month, and they want to get I don't know what the numbers will be. I don't know what their goal number is, but several million people paying them $40, and they disperse it across those leagues, and they cut it. I mean, nobody's in this not to make a profit, us included. Yeah. But at some point, we're all going to hit our breaking point on this thing, CK, where we go back just to listen to it on radio. I mean, at some point, that's what's going to happen.
I don't disagree 100%. And I think things will shake out eventually. Maybe now you got to bite the bullet. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just saying that's what I did. I'm happy.
Yep. I'm happy. You sound like a happy guy.
I'm happy, bro. It's a beautiful day, by the way. One other thing. With Heupel, okay, and you've said it, Tony, two plays, and this team has one loss. A field goal made, and that pass over to Mikey Matthews when the strip sack happened. If Aguilar can get the pass off to Mikey Matthews over the middle, that's 14-0, Tennessee up. I got to believe they go ahead and win that game. It was such a momentum switch. These things are on such a fine line anymore. The teams are so balanced. Simple plays like that can determine a season. I mean, Tennessee could lose 2 more games, or they could win out. I don't know. It's hard to...
Yeah, fans...
It's crazy to watch these games now. You don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I've always known this, but fans are so captured in the moment that they can't lend any perspective when they're in the middle of the farce. Maybe we do at the end of the year as we take an assessment of this thing, but and I realize we haven't beaten anybody that can play yet, but you have 2 opportunities in front of you.
Yep.
And if you fail in those 2 opportunities and this guy finishes 7-5, he's going to be forced to either make changes on his coaching staff or he's going to get fired after the next season. That's what's going to happen. And I'm not sure, because here's the thing about coming close. Coming close is fine. Unfortunately, when you're paid the kind of money these guys are, the guys that come close, like Hugh Freeze, Fuse had Georgia beat, and they had a touchdown, and it was 17-0 at halftime, and the game's over. But you know what that game went down as? A loss. And you know where he is right now? He's looking for work. And probably looking for love in all the wrong places. Who made that song?
Johnny Lee.
Conway.
Let's go. That's a great old jam. That's a great jam. Is that an Urban Cowboy song, Bri?
I believe so, yes.
Yep.
That's not a bad movie, by the way.
Not bad. Hey,
John Travolta back in his day.
On the bull. Yep. He had some bad ones back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
But Staying Alive wasn't very good. There were a couple other ones. But, hey, listen, I appreciate you, CK, to the Bogue. Here's the thing. I just, for the life of me, I expected a lot of things this week, but everybody to be in like full freak out mode on our head football coach just wasn't one of them. That said, Blake Toppmeyer's taken notice. He of the USA Today network and in USA Today is writing that Penn State and Josh Heupel would be well served to get together with each other. Now, I think that's an interesting thing, right? I think that's an interesting thing. And we're going to talk with Blake Toppmeyer about how he arrived at that when we continue. Did he just pull that out of thin air? Was he encouraged to write that? I mean, maybe he says, is it like a possibility? Or is it just I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Let me do this before I do anything else. We'll do this and then that and like this and after this. Blake Toppmeyer.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations, Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
As I welcome you back, let me keep it live, legal, local, large, and in charge.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
With you on the radio for close to another hour. Then we got the great one, William Pattison, will join. In the meantime, joining us on the TLD Logistic Newsmaker Hotline, a guy who I got people all stirred up. Blake Toppmeyer, I bring you in against the backdrop that I don't discount anything out of hand in college sports anymore occurring when it comes to teams and hirings and firings and guys jumping around. Blake, where did this concept of Josh Heupel and Penn State emanate? as I bring you in and welcome you to the show.
Yeah, well, let's start from the Penn State perspective, right? If you're going to throw James Franklin overboard, a guy who fizzled out at the end but was just in the college football semifinals last year and had won the percentage of games that he won at Penn State, right? You need to go get a really good coach to replace James Franklin. You don't fire James Franklin to hire a stooge. You need somebody good, right? Josh Heupel fits that profile. I think his offense would be a revelation in the Big Ten. I mean, my goodness, look what Curt Cignetti has done in that league at warp speed. So I think from the Penn State perspective, if they could hook Josh Heupel, it would be a great move on their part. From Heupel's perspective, and this is just speculative, but if I'm Josh Heupel, I'm looking at my situation at Tennessee and thinking, have I hit my peak at Tennessee? If I have, now is a great time to be looking at other good opportunities because his resume still looks really good right now. And is Tennessee, is Josh Heupel on the hot seat right now? No, he's not. But if you wait until you are on the hot seat, then you've waited too long to parlay your achievements and your accomplishments into another great job. I look at Tennessee and Penn State as pretty comparable jobs, right? They're both really good jobs. They're not probably on that highest rung that most of us in the industry would describe as elite jobs, but they're both good jobs. They're both jobs with high expectations. But Heupel's going to be going into year 6 next season. If I'm in a coach at one of those jobs who's never won a playoff game, I'd rather be in year 1 or year 2 than I would be in year 6. So it restarts the clock for Josh. He's not taking a step backward in his career if he would make a move like this. This is a lateral move, but it's still a really good job. I think he'd be a revelation in the Big Ten. And so, that's sort of how I view it from my lens.
And I think the thing that's interesting about your piece is it illustrates just what a warp speed deal we were in. The sport that you and I began covering a decade and a half, or in my case, 3 decades ago, it's a completely different sport in the last 4 years. It's almost like we're watching something that all the rules have changed. The rules of engagement among these coaches have changed, the way they rate each other's rosters, and it's almost understood that that's going to happen. It used to be that they would rate each other's coaching staffs, and that was thought to be disloyal. But now everything's on the table. Every possibility you can imagine is on the table, and it's not outside the realm of possibility that a guy like Josh Heupel would jump. Now, somebody reached out to me and said, why would a guy leave? And I want you to respond to this. Why would a guy ever leave a job when he has the number 1 or number 2 quarterback in the country committed for next season? Why would that coach leave his current job? What would you say to that?
If that quarterback wants to play for Josh Heupel, why wouldn't he still want to play for Josh Heupel, right? I mean, who are we committing to here? You're committing to the coach, A, and you're committing to the dollars, B. And so if the coach leaves for another great job, you're still committing to the coach. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, but do you know if Penn State's broke? Did the roster that they had last year that went to the playoff semifinals reflect a broke program? I'm being facetious here, as you know. Obviously Penn State's not broke. They got a few shekels up there too. So, if you're a quarterback who's committing to the coach, who's committing to the system, who wants some NIL cash in his pocket, why couldn't he still have that at Penn State, right? So this old timey thinking of I want to play for State U, I think that's there's maybe a handful of guys out there, and I don't know this recruit, personally. Maybe he just, wants to get a Power T tattooed on his chest, and if that's the case, it wouldn't matter who's the coach in Knoxville. He's going to be playing for the Vols. But as we know, the vast majority of recruits in America today commit for a couple of reasons. One, they commit to the coach, they commit to the system if they're a quarterback and they think that system works for them, and they commit to the dollar figure. And all those things could be in place, if a coach moves to another job. Doesn't mean that commitment can't then flip his commitment and go exactly where that coach should be going. Same way as when a coach changes jobs, you see some guys hop in the portal and follow that coach to the new job. If they like playing for that coach, if they think they fit his system, they can follow him right out the door and resurface at that next program. So I don't look at that as a deal breaker at all. If you're Josh Heupel and you think, this guy wants to play for me, well, why wouldn't he want to play for you at your next job?
In a weird way, it's like part of your sales pitch of yourself. Because here's the thing. My second thing for you, too, is what if Tennessee ends up 7-5 this year?
Bingo.
Has a guy like that already lost his leverage in a coaching market, Josh?
I think he's lost a little bit, and I think you're looking ahead a little bit, as I did in my column. Josh is sitting here in a good situation, undeniably. But let's see what the temperature of the situation is if he were to lose at the Swamp, which is in play, it's possible, or if he were to lose in the regular season finale to Vanderbilt. I think it might be just a little bit warm, a little bit uncomfortable. In that case, I bet your phone lines, Tony, you wouldn't be able to get off the air that night if either one of those losses happen. And that's what I'm talking about here. Like, if you wait until everybody wants to fire you, well, then it's too late, right? Josh Heupel's still got a red-hot resume right now. Now is the time to strike, if he's going to. Maybe he wants to retire at Tennessee, and if that's the case, well, hey, there are worse places to retire from than Tennessee, and he can stay there and stay as long as he wants until Tennessee doesn't want him there anymore. But if he thinks he might want to strike while the iron's hot, now's the time, because he's not going to be tied down in the playoffs. That's the other thing we have to remember. The playoffs complicate things for coaches who might want to explore other opportunities. If you wait until you have a year where you got a playoff team on your hands,
that's right.
Well, that creates some hurdles to leaving. And so the ultimate time to leave is actually when you still have a hot resume, but you're coaching something like an 8-4, 9-3 type team, which is what Josh has on his hands this year. The ceiling is 9-3. The floor is probably somewhere around 7-5. So this is the ideal type of season for a coach in his position. If they want to, and I'm not saying Josh does, but if he wanted to, this is the ideal type of season for him to leave, because he's not bogged down by the playoff. His resume's still hot, and he's going to be sitting there, somewhere in the 8-4 range. For guys that want to leave and explore other opportunities, this is exactly the type of season where you do that. And the other thing, Tony, that we haven't mentioned, I think we would both agree that it's a little bit easier to make the playoff in Big Ten land if you're a program like Penn State than it is in this very crowded, very deep SEC. Your fan bases are going to expect you at programs like Penn State and Tennessee. They're going to expect you to make the playoff every year. That's just life now for coaches at programs like this. And so if those are the expectations, I think you could make a very strong argument, and I would, that Penn State has a better annual path to the playoff than Tennessee does. Not because it's necessarily a better program, but because the way the Big Ten's constructed up there, it's like the cream. It's easier for the cream to rise to the top because those secondary and tertiary tiers in the Big Ten, I believe, are not as strong as they are in the SEC. And so I think your annual path to the playoff would be a little bit easier at Penn State.
Oh, I think that's right, especially if you go to a 16-team playoff. I mean, that league is such a joke. I mean, my gosh, what a soft target. Whereas here, and I was talking with Mike Huguenin a couple weeks ago, when he said it, I kind of blanched at it until I wrote it down on paper. Being on myself, we kind of just, we did it on the spot, but we put it on paper. There are 10 fan bases here that expect to be in that playoff. There are 10 fan bases right now that expect to be in a 12-team playoff. That's why several coaches have already been fired and several more. I mean, we just talked to an Oklahoma caller a second ago. Oklahoma's one of those schools, and Brent Venables might be on the outside looking in. Look, you make a compelling point. Here's the other thing why I could not just out of hand bring you on here and scoff at what you're saying, and that's that we all have to face reality here, and the reality is this. In this league, you're either going to kill or be killed. Most of these guys, before it's over, are going to be killed. Heupel's already been here 5 years after this season, and sooner or later, fans wear out on you. They just get worn out on you, and the other thing is, in this hiring cycle, A lot of these fan bases think we're getting choice number one. Like there are 3 fan bases out there that think they're getting Lane Kiffin, and you just said it. I'm coming to the conclusion.
Can't 3 fan bases hire him, can they?
Well, I'm not sure anybody can hire him if they get home and go to a playoff, which, to your point, really complicates this thing. Like the pool to hire coaches and this madness that we've created in college football dictates that eventually the phone for guys like Josh Heupel is going to ring. It just means that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know this fan base incredibly well in Tennessee, Tony. So let me ask you a couple things. I'm going to turn the tables on you if you'll indulge me here. What would you say Josh Heupel's approval rating is today in Tennessee as compared to at the end of the 2022 season? I know it's still above water right now, but what would you say his approval rating is today as compared to 2022?
I would have no idea, but it's less. It's less. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on the temperature scale, 10 being boiling hot, we know it's not that. 0 being, your Kirby Smart at Georgia. What would you put the temperature scale at right now?
Well, it's a 5 or a 6, but yeah.
If you wait till it's 8 or 9,
oh, you're done.
You're done. You're waiting on buyout check. Mm-hmm. You're done at that point. Mm-hmm. You're cooked. So now is the time. If he wanted to leave, I don't know if he does. Only Josh knows that.
Yeah.
If he wanted to leave now, when the temperature is, as you say, about a 5 or 6, his resume still looks good. He'd be a godsend for Penn State. Think about what Penn State needs.
Yeah.
They need someone who can develop an offense, who can develop quarterbacks, and who can occasionally land a punch in a rivalry game. Because James Franklin, Big Game James, he never once beat Ryan Day. I think the comparisons between Josh Heupel, you've heard him, the comparisons between Josh Heupel and James Franklin, they're way off base.
Way off base.
Josh Heupel, his
better.
record in top 25 games is much better.
Much better.
His record in those rivalry games doesn't land it every time, but Big Game James never beat Ryan Day. Josh Heupel beat Nick Saban in his second try against Saban, beat Kalen DeBoer in his first try. He would be. I think he's exactly what Penn State needs now. Is Penn State exactly what Josh Heupel wants? Again, only he can answer that. But it's a lateral move, yes, but it's a move where he would have a easier path, I think, to making the playoff annually, which is what it's all about at this point. I also think you got 3 schools now that are running his offense in the SEC. It's not a novelty act anymore. In the Big Ten, to me, it would kind of be like what Josh Heupel's offense was when he arrived at Tennessee. A little bit of a novelty act. I think he could have a lot of success at Penn State.
Brian Hartline, by the way, is thought to be the leader there right now, a guy who's never been a head coach, a guy who, when he was offensive coordinator a couple years ago, was so bad that they displaced him at Ohio State and brought in Chip Kelly to win their national championship. So, that's just a very curious thing. Joe Brady's name's been thrown around. Joe Brady's name's been thrown around at LSU. Joe Brady's name's thrown around at Penn State because the Pagula family, he's the offensive coordinator with the Bills, and he's been in that Bills organization for several years, so he knows that guy. Pagula's their Haslam, and he owns his own football team, kind of like Haslam. He sort of funds everything. He spent like $80 million, some crazy thing, on their hockey arena there, and now they're playing hockey at the top of that, the NCAA deal. Here's the thing about any of this, because Blake, I know you're going to get like some blowback from writing something like that, but I think it's thought-provoking because if it's not Josh Heupel, it's going to be somebody sitting at a school where we're all going to go, why in the world did that person take that job? Or I didn't know that person was available to take that job. Because the clock on these guys has been so sped up by what they've done to these sports. The no collective bargaining, free agency for everybody after every year, coaches jumping like rats off a ship, teams quitting at the end of football seasons, me poaching everybody off your roster. I mean, it's all been, and the bad blood and the whole thing, and then the fans getting angry when you don't make the playoffs because you're making $10 million. When everybody's making $10 million, everybody's making crazy money. I don't discount any of it. I think it's kind of thought-provoking and interesting, But I'll tell you this. It seems to me that if you're Heupel and you go 8-4 or you go 7-5, and that's splitting the difference between the last two games, 8-4 or 7-5, I just don't know how attractive you are at your next stop. I don't know how you sell it to a fan base. But then again, Brian Hartline is thought to be the lead candidate at Penn State right now. And, putting those two together, Josh Heupel's a hell of a lot more attractive than Brian Hartline would be.
Yeah, if you could have Eli Drinkwitz or Josh Heupel in your Penn State, which one do you want? Which one are you able to sell more easily? And I just put a name out there that's come up, a lot of hot boards, Eli Drinkwitz. If you could have Heupel or Drinkwitz at Penn State, I know what you're going to say, Tony. You want Heupel.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing. Who's Florida going to hire?
Yeah, well, I know who they think they're going to hire, but it goes back to your question earlier. Only one program can hire Lane Kiffin, and that's if he leaves at all.
And then who's LSU going to hire?
Yeah, all these programs that their fan bases think they're getting Lane Kiffin, they're not getting Lane Kiffin. And so when you say how attractive would his resume look, well, when you face the sobering reality that you're not getting Lane Kiffin, who, by the way, has made the playoff one fewer times at this point than Josh Heupel.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. He choked
last
year.
Sobering reality, and you think about who's the highest end candidate you could realistically get. I think Josh Heupel starts to look really darn good.
Hey, Josh Heupel is a more accomplished coach than Lane Kiffin. He just is.
Fact.
I didn't do it. I mean, those are faxes. I didn't.
Now at the end of this season, we could revisit that conversation. But as we sit here today, that's a fact.
Yeah, it's really an amazing, crazy thing that they've done. Do you think Oklahoma ends before it's over? Because we had an Oklahoma caller. Do you think that thing ends
this season?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think next season. Yeah. But boy, it can speed up quickly. As we've seen, you can go from not on the hot seat to being out the door in 2 weeks' time in the landscape right now. That's reality. Brian Kelly was not on the hot seat at the start of the season. In 2 weeks' time, he was cooked. James Franklin, not on the hot seat at the beginning of the season. 2 weeks' time, gone. That's how quickly it can change.
Yeah, it's a nutty deal. But Blake, I appreciate you jumping on with us. If folks want to interact with you and blast you, where do they find you and read along and all that stuff?
Yeah, so you can find my column over at usatoday.com. I have my email address at the end of my column, which not all columnists do, by the way, but I put it at the end of every single column I write. So my email address is lingering around right there at the end of that column over at usatoday.com.
Sam wants to know, Blake, here's the ultimate question. Why would Faison Brandon leave East Tennessee to live in Pennsylvania and be coached by Heupel? Why would he says he guarantees that Faison would not want to play there?
Does he want to play for Josh Heupel?
I don't know. Thank you.
I mean, if he wants to play for Josh Heupel and Josh Heupel's living in Pennsylvania, then I'd say he's going to play in Pennsylvania. If he doesn't want to play for Josh Heupel and doesn't care who the coach is, then I guess he can go play wherever he wants.
Thank you. Great, good talking to you, Blake. Thanks.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you. I just don't dismiss anything out of hand. It's food for thought. What it makes me do is it makes me appreciate Josh Heupel a lot more, engaging in that conversation, because he's not a bum, and he's not a bozo like some of you pretend that he is. That's why I think it's good to have that conversation, because it makes me appreciate him a little more.
What do you think?
That's the thing it's illustrative of for me when you think about it. Because if you put him and Brian Hartline next to each other, who's a better hire? I mean, this guy's an accomplished coach. We don't appreciate him. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have warts. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying after next season he's not going to be on the hot seat, because he might be. Like, a lot of things can be true here. This guy could go 7-5 this year. And if that happens, I'm telling you right now, even a win at Florida and a loss to Vanderbilt, lose to Vanderbilt, and you will literally be on the clock next season. And I didn't do it. I don't make up the rules here. I just tell you, from my 30 years of doing this, being in this fan base, being on this end of things, watching things develop, that it's certainly plausible that seat would get really, really warm around him. It's true. He's a lot better. He's a lot better of a coach than that Brian Hartline guy. That Brian Hartline guy, to win a national championship last year, they had to go out and hire Chip Kelly to do Hartline's job for him. Now, he's a great recruiter. If that's what you want, that Hartline guy gets all those receivers at Ohio State and has gotten a bunch of five-star players. Those of you who follow the recruiting game, he's like the anti-Tim Banks. But, I mean, Matt, could you imagine a job like a Penn State, a job like a Tennessee, hiring Brian Hartline to be the head coach? A failed coordinator, Matt?
Penn State, you don't fire James Franklin to hire Brian Hartline.
Thank you.
I mean, you can't. You just can't do that.
It's not credibility.
Like, I don't.
That's how silly the sport is, though, Matt.
That makes zero sense.
And that might be where they are. That might be where they are right now.
Like at least Joe Brady has proven to be a really good play caller.
Exactly.
I mean, Hartline's not really done that yet. And he's an Ohio State guy, like through and through. He's never done it outside of Columbus.
Right.
That would be a disaster hire.
And one of the big Ohio State guys who got an opportunity in the Big Ten is at Wisconsin. How'd that turn out?
How far do you think Heupel's approval rating has dropped since the 2022 season?
Brian, we thought we had a young Steve Spurrier back then, man. He was
Is it like 90% then to maybe 60% now?
I would say he was 95%, Brian.
Oh, it's still in the 80s now. It's
no, Matt, come on.
I think it's at least 85%.
No, Matt, come on.
Yes.
Come on. No, that's not true.
Okay.
80%.
Well, how many times are you letting Negative vote in this thing?
80%.
Yes, approval rating for Heupel. I would say it's at least 80%. That again, it doesn't mean he's not flawless and some perfect coach. We've talked about the issues, but I mean, an approval rating, yeah, I think it'd be in the 80s.
Yeah, and Josh kind of speaks for me when he says the following. I didn't make the sport silly. This conference and this commissioner have made this sport silly. And we're all kind of caught in the middle. Where I can't bring Blake on and just blast him and go, that's an untenable thought. Because, Matt, what happens to that approval rating if you lose to Vanderbilt? Where's that number?
Probably in the moment, probably in the mid 60s to 70.
That's where you'd be. Yep.
No, you got to win that game. I mean, that for like the fifth time this year, Negative will say that's the most important game of Josh Heupel's coaching career.
Negative.
It'll actually have some weight this time.
Negative comes out to play. But the crazy thing is that there are going to be guys like Heupel that are going to jump from jobs. Because they're going to look at their spot and they're going to go, you know what? I've been here 4 or 5 years. I've done a really nice job. I was just talking to a guy this morning at Missouri. I said, what's Eli going to do? He said they put a contract in front of him and he hasn't signed anything. I mean, he's basically set it up where he can go. Why would that guy leave there? Here's the other thing. Nick Saban said this a couple weeks ago, and I think he's right. What is the difference today between the Ole Miss job, if you get them to the playoff, and the LSU job, if you're Lane Kiffin? What's the difference between the Ole Miss job and the Florida job right now? I mean, if I have money, I can go down to Florida and get the players I need. take him over to Ole Miss and play. It's what we've done. I mean, you think there's a big difference between our job and the Florida job right now? 20 years ago, there was. Now? Did you see our stadium Saturday night? I mean, there can't be much of a difference, if there's any at all. Now, we don't have the incredible recruiting footprint they have, but we got everything else. And so, at the end of the day, the state of Mississippi produces a ton of football players and always has. And we've had this conversation. Mississippi State's always had these Fletcher Cox types of defensive players.
Imagine if you had only one major school in Mississippi. You could combine Ole Miss and Mississippi State
going
in one
back
school.
Going back to the Dwayne Rudd days.
How good would that team be year in and year out?
You're exactly, and that's what you do. If you're a Kiffin, that's what your thought is. I could turn us into that. Because the guy at Mississippi State, y'all, I got news for you. Well, he's in what, year 2? Matt, how much longer is he going to get? Because he can't manage football games, and I love him. He looks fun.
He'll get one more year.
Yeah, he looks fun, but
he'll probably be fired by this time next year.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. Because he can't manage. It's a shame because he does a nice job with his offense, and they had us on the ropes. I mean, he just can't coach.
They were up by 17 on Texas in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, you'd say they had us on the ropes. They literally had Texas beat and gave it to them.
And the week before us, because I was laughing at Colombo a couple weeks ago when he said Lane's going to stay there. I'm not so sure if I was him, I wouldn't stay there. Because if you can dominate that state and then cherry pick out of Florida, cherry pick out of Texas, be Lane Kiffin, be online, all those things that he is, I'm not so sure I wouldn't stay there.
As long as you can get the NIL backing from boosters, which Lane can obviously do with his personality, there's no reason to leave there.
No.
And it's not so much the in-state stuff anymore because it is kind of a sneaky good recruiting state.
Yeah.
But it also used to be really, really big on the JUCO and community college teams that littered the state. It was, I think, probably the best state for that, and I don't think that's as big a factor anymore.
Yeah.
But that was a huge thing, especially on the lines of scrimmage, where you could beef up your team that way. But no, it's the point's right. All these jobs lay on top of each other now. The jobs, 8 through 25 or so, are all pretty equal now. And it all comes down to your NIL backing, and can you are the boosters hungry enough to back you, on a yearly basis?
And this is going to be a very interesting, crazy off season in this sport. I know it frustrates some of you that we're talking about it, but a guy mentions our job in a straight face with Penn State, and then comes on here and makes the case. And look, I don't think that's going to happen. But again, you can't discount anything out of hand in that sport anymore. You can't. You can't. Because there are fan bases that are going to be so royally pissed off when they realize who they're hiring in this cycle. They're going to be in full freak-out mode. Kind of like us if we lose to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going to say, well, I'm done with that program.
Yes. I mean,
they got some guy I never heard of.
Like Matt said, you're going to fire a guy that went to Vanderbilt and won 9 games a year and had them relevant, came to our place at Penn State and won 75% of his games, but couldn't beat somebody in his league, and cratered one year after you lost to Oregon, who's gone to the playoffs, by the way, in overtime. I mean, you're just going to throw that guy out midseason to hire a guy at Ohio State that literally, like when my family calls me, because they know I really follow, because they're into the pro game, and they don't really into the college game. And Matt, they say to me, what do you think of the Brian Hartline hire? Matt, you know me. I'm going to keep it real. What do you think I'm going to tell him, Matt? I'm going to say, you fired that guy to hire that guy? That's what I'm going to say to him. I'm going to say, you better hope like hell that this guy is not only able to recruit players, but recruit coaches. Because that's asinine, man. That's like insane. I was looking at the Heartline guy's resume the other day. He's never been a head coach anywhere. So
he's barely been a coordinator, and he's been all that at Ohio State, which is just different than every. I mean, that's an SEC program.
Yeah,
their infrastructure, the way they do things.
Yep.
Penn State's pretty close to that, but they're not quite that. Yeah, they're kind of on that next tier up, just a little bit below Michigan and Oregon.
Yep.
Maybe on the same level in a lot of ways.
And to our fan base that's like killing the messenger, here's the thing. A lot of these guys, it's about restarting your clock. You got to make that calculation. Am I cold? Am I hot? Am I somewhere in between? Pretty soon my magic tricks run out. Because you know what Penn State fans would do if Josh Heupel walked through the door? They'd be going like this. Do you know how bad James Franklin's offense was to watch? James Franklin insisted on running that goofy-ass Butch Jones offense that he runs. And it literally is unwatchable. Literally unwatchable. So we continue with more. We'll get some calls in after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight.
So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club teams start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. As I welcome you back, I do want to remind you that Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime, as soon as the game on Saturday goes final, let's go back to our phones. We will do a TLD Logistics overtime today. And we'll go back to our phones. Rodney Kraft, who's very slow on the uptake, said, Tony, you're putting Tennessee on the same level as Ole Miss. No, I'm putting LSU on the same level as Ole Miss, Rodney. Actually, is what I was doing. That's Matt, that's what we were doing. These jobs now, today, these teams lay one on top of the other. Look at the power ratings, Rodney, in college football right now. Just look at them. Just look at them. This league is the closest thing to the NFL. The Big Ten is a much easier league than the NFL. If I was coaching, I would much rather coach in that league than this league from the perspective of if I wanted longevity and to make the tournament at the end of the year, it's a much easier proposition. Matt, there's no argument with that, is there, that it's a much easier proposition out of that league than this league?
No. Look at what Indiana did last year.
Hello.
I mean, they didn't beat anybody very good.
Hello.
And they made the playoffs. Whether they deserved it or not, irrelevant. They got there. And then this year they're they've proven that they're not a fluke, and they're a really, really good team that they built quickly. And that kind of goes to your point too. I mean, if Indiana can be competing for a playoff spot, I mean, just about anybody can. I mean, Indiana and Vandy could both make the playoffs this year.
That's right.
Tells you all you need to know about parity.
That's right.
Which also lets you know, like I don't think Clark Lee will leave Vanderbilt. Like, he has no reason to.
Why would
even
he leave?
If a Penn State came calling for him?
No.
Like, he has no reason, because those jobs are a lot closer than they've ever been before.
Amen.
And you can actually win at Vandy.
Here's a crazy thing. Okay, Brad Paisley and his wife are big time involved in it. Amy Grant and her husband are big time involved in it. There's a bunch of producers in Nashville that are big time involved in it. They're all showing their gold now, and they're not showing their gold for basketball, but that guy's a good young coach. They're showing their gold for that football program. And you know why? Because Brian's Tennessee Titans have left a cavernous hole in that market that Vanderbilt football is filling.
How many NIL collectives do you think Kenny Chesney contributes to?
Back to our phones. I
want to see Vandy do something without Pavia. This is Diego Pavia driven, I think. Can it be sustained?
Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
How my French compatriots doing?
Hey, buddy, welcome in.
Kenny Chesney's all volunteer. He's all big orange. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, Matt. It's a cheap shot.
He made the color orange, an actual show on ESPN.
See, Matt? He made the color orange.
Oh, I know that, but he also gets on stage with a Florida helmet on and sings with Tebow.
Oh, good grief.
I wouldn't do that.
Tony, I was appalled and outraged that you're outraged that we're having a Saturday afternoon game on an open date. When I was growing up, that was a big deal, to have some Saturday games
in a football
actually early in the season.
On a football weekend?
Yes, we did it. On a football weekend when we were out of town, or if the game was at 2, the basketball game was at 7.
Makes zero sense
I don't think basketball season started years ago until late November, did it? It started a lot earlier this year than it used to.
The TV has changed things. If we played football at 2, you could go to basketball at 7. But also, I can see half your point, because it would make more sense if we're going to play on an open day. Why aren't we playing somebody like Louisville?
That's my point.
Instead of the Fighting North.
You're playing a bye game. Are you trying to draw 5,000 people for the game? This is a college football market, and we love our college basketball in season. It's not quite in season just yet. We love our college basketball, but you know what I'm telling people? We're going to do a little football watch along as well. I'm writing that in the blog tomorrow. I'm telling you right now, we will watch football games while we're doing the basketball post game on Saturday. Why? Because I'm trying to gain an audience.
I agree, Tony. And, we've got 8 home basketball games this year, and 7 of them are against Hoopties.
Oh, you're talking about
We've only got
the
Louisville, and it's on a Tuesday night.
Talking about the non-conference schedule.
Yeah, non-conference. I meant non-conference.
Well,
yeah.
That's the way the sport is now. The sport now rewards you to play neutral site games, which Tennessee is involved in all the signature events, like the one that they're playing in Vegas here over the holiday. The Thanksgiving holiday is going to be a who's who deal. But you're right, W. Lynn. It's very much borderline ripoff for the local ticket buyer. You're right.
Because I took the 7 Hoopty games we're playing.
Yep.
As a percentage of 31 games, that's 23% of your games. In football, 23% of your 12 football games is 3. And people raise Cain about playing 3 Hoopty games in football, and it's the same percentage as basketball.
But basketball is a much better bang for the buck than football is, from the perspective of it lasts longer. You got more dates. You play more interesting combinations of teams. And when you're at Tennessee and you're in that elite class like Rick Barnes has put our program in consistently, It's a lot of fun, W. Lynn.
Oh, I enjoy it, but I'm just saying, for a home season ticket holder, that's not a lot to go on till you get to SEC play.
That's interesting.
These holiday tournaments actually used to be over the holiday, but now because of football, I understand that, we're playing in Vegas on Monday, Tuesday, and either Wednesday or Thursday.
That's right.
Monday through Wednesday is not a holiday when I used to work.
Yeah, it is now, though. That whole week, man, everybody just takes it off.
Well, it should be. I mean, I wish everybody would get the week off, but and we do play the Fighting Illini in Nashville, so we can maybe fill that place up for that.
That's a great one.
But in football, guys, Heupel's here. Russell did a poll, and I think it was 80-some% approval rating. He's done either 2 days ago or yesterday.
Well,
it was 66% from what I could see.
Is that what it was total? Okay.
Yeah, I was looking. I think it's around 60 and somewhere in the 65.8% approved.
The
21.9% strongly approved. So you may be right.
So Russell Smith, the Teichner people and Russell Smith have gotten together on that, or Gallup. So if it's
whatever.
60s,
like Brian said, it's broken up in strongly approve, and if you add the two together, it's like 80-something. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's only 11.2% disapprove, and that's over 1,000 votes.
Well, if the Big Ten gets their wish and has their what I call the scaredy cat plan for a 24-team playoff, we'd still be in the hunt.
You got that right, my brother, and I appreciate you. Maybe next year, if you get to 16 teams, we're in the hunt and in the mix and in the mix and in the hunt, and in the hunt and in the mix and in the mix and in the hunt. If you know what I mean. Let's get our next call in on our TLD Logistics phone lines. A playbook with William Pattison on the way next on many of these same stations. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Tony, this is Rob.
Hey, Rob. Good to talk to you.
I tell you, and I've got kind of a little side subject here before we get started. Is it did you find out if it's true that Tony Vitello was looking at the Texas A&M job before he left?
No, I can't confirm that. I have no idea.
I think they approached him through back channels.
Okay, that's a lot better. All right.
Yeah, he didn't. No, he was not actively out doing that. No, they came. They approached him.
Okay. Because I wanted to clarify that, because to me, the hurt wasn't him leaving. The hurt was him looking at other programs already. And to that, I kind of got. I'll be honest, a little cynical as a fan here, because hey, why should I pour my heart into you if you ain't pouring your heart into me? And so on Heupel's had one problem, and to me, in my book, and everyone has their own score, but mine is that weird road game he has every year. My hope right now, for example, my hope this year was his weird road game was Mississippi State, which sadly is probably, between that and Syracuse, our best win. And so when I look at this year, I'm sitting there thinking, I hear the guy talking. Maybe it is time for him to go. And then I'm going, that's not good. But the drama this year, the drama is better than the football. And think about this piece of drama that you guys aren't talking about yet. The best job, money-wise, and money whipping and NIL and all that is Texas. And if I were Texas right now, I'd be telling my coach to either blank or get off the pot, because if you're going to leave for the Tennessee job or Tennessee Titan job, I need to know now.
See, that's really interesting. Where do you guys think that came from? Matt? Did Sexton leak that out and then rip the
100%.
person that reported it? Because that's what he did. They ripped the person that reported it. Did they leak it and then do that?
Yes, and the Sarkisian thing with Heupel is that's the most comparable coach to Heupel is Sarkisian, because they're both OCs and call their own plays. They both, kind of went with the 5-star quarterback that was a little bit disappointing. Now Arch is, I think, going to wind up working out a little bit better, obviously. But, I mean, he struggles with the in-game management stuff too. And that team's not very well coached either this year.
No, they're brutal.
Skated around and somehow only have 2 losses. But that's not a well-coached team either. They're not kind of functioning as well as they should either.
Well, everybody in college football who's fired their coach would move down a peg if Texas comes open. Am I wrong?
No, you're exactly right. No, because Texas, look, I mean, he who has the gold, he who pays the fiddler calls the tune. They can pay the fiddler more than anybody.
Yes, they'll money whip people,
yes,
and they money whip people more than Texas A&M, their little brother, does.
That's exactly right.
And so you're looking at it. To me, I sit there. College football is now not just a game; it is full-fledged entertainment. It's a reality show, and that's, we can say what we want. And I hear people complaining, and from time to time, I get my gray hairs get going, and I'm sitting there going, well, it used to not be this way. But in all honesty, I'm clicking every story that comes across the line.
There you go.
So I'm enabling it. I know it. And I'm listening to your show. I'm listening to the post game. I don't call in a lot, but the fact is, man, we're living this together. And I think that's why Tony Vitello hurt me. It hurt so much when I thought maybe he had reached out, because I'm happy for Tony. Go do your great thing. But if you were leaving already, that broke my heart,
Yeah, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. Tony's, it was never his intention to leave here, no.
Tony, that's why I'm asking you guys.
Yeah.
What was the case there? Because before you go ahead and shed a tear, you need to figure out whether you need to.
Amen to that, brother.
And in this case, that's why I'm asking first, because, to me, I went and I'll tell myself real quick. I've always just worn a ball cap. I wear a Tennessee ball cap every day, but I went and spent money for the official baseball ball cap and had it fitted, because my head's like a pumpkin already. So I went and got the size 8 hat and had it fitted and opened it up, and I was wearing that ball cap. I spent the money for the better ball cap, which is not my style. Typically, I want to have a $5 ball cap because it's the name on the hat that matters more than the quality of the hat. I want people to know my affiliation is true and integrity. It's a weird thing, and I get it. But Tony has me loving baseball that much. And so I come back, and when I'm hearing the coaching search and stuff right now, part of me sits there and goes, wow, this is just more of the pain of the current era. And, I don't know. You don't, Heupel, for example, really doesn't reach out to people in the Knoxville area. He's always on a show out in Nashville. And that to me is weird, because it's like going, why don't you do Vanderbilt shows? And I like the coach, but he doesn't make the connection that Tony Vitello did. And
that's a good point, and I appreciate the call. To the radio listener, I love you. We're finna to do a TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. The great William Pattison, who will be a part of our Winners and Losers, presented by Dos Equis, which will be dropped later tonight, will be a part of our panel once again. Our panel of esteemed journalists and pickers and gambling degenerates alike. Just a nice mix of those folks. I don't know where I fall on that spectrum. I guess somewhere in between would be the answer to that. Somewhere betwixt the two. But I love you and I appreciate you. It's been utterly incredible hanging out today. I want to remind you that no Calhouns tomorrow. No Calhouns. Again, no Calhouns. We will be back the following Friday at Calhouns. I also want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that We need your tickets. Amachi Tailgate Ticks at gmail.com. Amachi Tailgate Ticks at gmail.com. We love you. We need you. I love you. I appreciate you. It's unbelievable, Andy. But we'll continue to do our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime here and have some fun with it. Check out today's blog over at tclub.team. Why we really need to win at Florida. That's a theme. We need to have a winning tailgate next week for those kids, and we need to win at Florida in that order. And then Vandy ain't going to come in. Well, I better stop myself. We love you. We appreciate you. Peace.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
That documentary on Kiffin.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Was he doing hot
presented
yoga?
by TLD Logistics. Online
Yes.
at tldlogistics.com.
Really? He's gotten himself in that good a condition? He's doing hot yoga?
Yeah, he does it before each game.
And
he
now
did
let's
it
go to the
when he's on
guys
the
with
road. He
today's
does it.
edition of
What?
TLD
Somewhere.
Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
What?
When they go on road games, he's done it like the morning of the game somewhere.
What's this guy
He finds
doing?
a place to go.
He's gotten himself together? What's he doing?
He's quit drinking and everything.
Presented by our friends at TLD Logistics, online at tldlogistics.com. Alan's calling the shot, Matt. He says we're having a winning tailgate in Gainesville, and everybody's welcome. He's going to give me the coordinates that week, Matt.
I like that. I like that line of thinking. That's good. I hope that's a theme. I like it.
The teams that have won. Go ahead, Bri.
Well, I sort of hinted that they could win down there over the summertime.
You did?
To sort of set the tone.
You said you set the tone from pillar to post here, Bri. Known to the world as Chili Mose, Bri.
The Padres have hired Craig Stammen as their new manager. He was a longtime reliever with the Nationals and Padres, and he's going to be competing against Tony Vitello.
I remember him. He played Blackie on General Hospital, right?
Perhaps. I think
played
he used
on
to.
that show with the Twins. Wasn't he on that show with the Twins and that really bad Commodian?
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig Stammen. I remember him. Matt, how would Tennessee fans have responded to Lane Kiffin's choke job of 2024? Because I know we have a crush on him.
If he lost at home to Kentucky to get knocked out of the playoffs, that would be about as devastating a loss as you could have. And that was early in the season too. So all the it'd be all the negative that Heupel's gotten this week. It would be that times like 5, and it would have occurred in like late September.
You know what they say?
That would have been hard to recover from.
The grass is always greener, isn't it? If Lane Kiffin was here, you'd know all his faults. But he's not. You have a crush on him. And you know what? The grass is always greener over the septic tank, isn't it? Imagine at a school where he spent all that money on his roster. He had the playoffs in his hands. And you know what else he did at the end of last year? Lost to the Florida Gators, who we had already beaten. Here, boy, here, boy, here, boy. We wake up today in a world where A&M, Ole Miss, and Vanderbilt could make the playoffs. Matt, how many of those teams are making the playoffs? Because if 2 of those 3 get in, this is going to be a completely idiotic year. Because A&M's never done anything in their lifetime.
2 of them are getting in.
Ole Miss has literally, in the modern era, never done. They haven't even been to an SEC championship game. I had to look that up last night.
That's right.
That's insane. And And
they don't need to go to one to get to the playoffs this year.
And
and they're irrelevant now. But the point still, they were the only team from the West that never made Atlanta. I guess besides A&M, if you want to throw them in there.
Matt, if all three of those teams, if those are three of the 5 teams representing the league, if 5 go, can you imagine that? That's embarrassing.
Those 3 and then Alabama and Georgia?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
No. How it shook out this year. Take advantage of the schedule and a couple of teams being down.
Florida has
Texas.
Go ahead, Brian.
I wouldn't count Texas out.
I mean, they're still mathematically in play, but when you just watch that team, that's not a playoff team at all. They would be the 9-3 team that could sneak in, because that early loss to Ohio State's obviously not a bad loss, and they've played them closer than anybody. But you watch them playing, that's a team that's a lot closer to 4 losses than 2.
Matt, what number is more surprising to you? That Florida has 23 losses at home post Urban Meyer, or that Tennessee has 35 losses in Neyland Stadium in that same time span?
That Tennessee has what?
35 losses since that time, in that time span, since 2011. In their building.
Well, I mean, you went about a decade in that where any team with a pulse beat you, whether it was home or away. Probably the Florida one a little bit more, but a lot of teams have gone down there and beat them. But it is hard to lose that many at home when you have a competent program.
Florida has lost 23 games since 2011. They've lost to 8 SEC teams. They went undefeated at home in 2012, 2016, 2019. It says they went undefeated at home in 2029 on my blog. Which, hey, I'm like Negative, man. I can tell the future. In fact, I can tell the future just by waving my hand. Negative. Including a loss to South Florida this year. Florida State's won there 5 times. LSU's won there 4 times. The Wildcats of Kentucky have won there twice. Now, that might be one of the more curious, odd, fluky, strange numbers in the history of mankind, Matt. Imagine just a real crap hole program like Kentucky winning twice in your building, Matt.
Yeah, I think Arkansas's won there a couple of times.
That would be that.
And they don't even play there very often, but I think I know they won the most recent one for sure.
That's right.
Has won in Neyland once since really one time since '84.
A&M, who's never done anything in their adult lives. They've won there twice. Bama's won there twice, playing like irregularly. Missouri has won there twice. Vanderbilt, who has been a total poop stain in the underwear of this league for forever and a day, has won there. South Carolina's won there. Arkansas has won there. The Miami Hurricane-orama have won there. South Florida earlier this year, and Georgia Southern. There is no reason, with a coach fired, that we shouldn't be able to win there. No reason. True or false, Matt? Joey Aguilar has played well enough to make the playoffs. Because I don't know how to answer that question. But I asked Cinco that question yesterday because somebody asked it of me. What do you think, Sink?
Because I think you have a playoff caliber offense and then like a 6-win defense. So the weird dynamic is Tennessee's defense has not been very good all year, and the offense has been pretty good for the most part. But there's been like 3 games where the defense has kind of carried you. Mississippi State, obviously. Alabama, they at least gave you a chance. I think you held them to 28 points. Like, I think it's weird, but he's played good enough to you have a playoff caliber offense. Yeah, I'd say that. So by default, Aguilar's been good enough to do that.
Back to our phones we go. If you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us, and in the mix and in the hunt with us, we have a lot to talk about today, and very little time to get there. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Always good to hear from you, my brother. Hope all's well today.
Yeah, I want to get to basketball. I just don't want to talk about football right now. I don't know if you caught what Cam Carr's been doing at Baylor. I don't know if you caught what Rodney Rice did for USC the other night.
Well, Baylor's played, one game? And he had, 15 points?
He had 28 points in their opening win. Cam Carr did.
Yeah, you could certainly use his scoring, for sure.
Do what now?
You could certainly use his scoring, for sure. He obviously wasn't a fit for the defense, but I mean, if you needed to find a way to keep him up, that would have been a big plus, because I'm not sure Bishop Boswell's going to score 28 points all season.
Yeah, and then the Rodney Rice deal, that would have been good money spent. I would have matched. He wanted to come here and play with his point guard. I would have matched whatever USC gave him.
But Dave, you couldn't get him and a men at the same time.
I don't have to have a mint.
Oh,
I don't have to have a freshman. I'm telling you, you're better off with an experienced, proven player than you are with one of these freshmen. Because a mint is going to be up and down all season.
You know what, Matt? It's an interesting discussion, isn't it? A bird in the hand and two in the bush, and fooling around with, because Rick Barnes fell in love with that kid, but there's no question that his best basketball is way out in front of him. And you wonder how wise it is not to just have Rodney Rice instead of fooling around with him, man. I'm going to say Dave's got a decent point there. I hate to tell him that, but
yeah, you win in March with veteran players.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and I just don't know what, because what I've seen of Amen,
yep,
is that he can handle the ball.
Nice player,
right?
Yep,
but he'd be a good player with really good other seniors and upperclassmen around him.
I would put him. I would let him play some two guard for me if I were them. I'd fool around with him there.
But if he has to be the guy,
yep,
you are in serious trouble.
Oh, I don't know about that. Listen,
I do know about that. Our two guys, the last 2 years.
You don't know that. Let's give a guy a chance. Dave, I think you make a good point on Rodney Rice, because he's a proven guy, and he was one of the Crab Five up in Maryland, no question. And he did want to come here. He went to USC, and they blew him away, and they paid him north of $3 million. There's nothing you can do about that. I mean, what was Tennessee supposed to do about that?
I don't think spending $4 million on a freshman, unless that freshman is that kid that played at Duke last year.
Well, Barnes fell in love with him.
Well,
the kid at BYU this year is a guy that would be worth paying. Have you seen that guy play? That DeBanza guy?
Yeah. He's a little bit bigger than, stronger than Amen.
Yeah, that guy's nutty.
I just think our two go-to guys the past 2 years were mature. Both guys playing in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Mature, 40% three-point shooters.
Yeah.
And we don't have one of those on our roster right now.
Rice would have helped. You would have brought in basically an intact backcourt from a team that went very far last year in the tournament. I agree with that.
Sweet 16 team.
They love each other. Those two kids love each other too. Yep.
And I don't know. I mean, seriously, you've seen him against Duke,
right?
And you saw him the other night. Now, he was okay the other night against very, very bad competition.
Right.
I saw him against good competition against Duke, and he was a disaster.
Hey, Dave, he's 18 years old. You know how much better he's going to get between now and March?
Not much. A little bit.
Dave, that's
they weren't even running sets
Dave,
for him. They were
the
just
dumbest.
letting him play ISO.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to. I mean, there's some obvious, concerns with how little he is. How is he going to hold up to physicality?
Sure.
But they were just kind of letting him play. Barnes was just kind of letting him play the other night. That's against Duke. I think that was a really good learning experience for him.
Let him go.
I'm not going to be as down on him as you are right now, but he obviously needs to have some improvement, but I think that's coming.
What are you talking about,
I'm
Dave?
not worried about. I'm
He's
not worried about.
going to improve
I'm
much.
worried about. I'm worried about his efficiency.
He's not going to improve much.
He's not going to be an efficient player this year
What?
at all.
What?
Efficient.
Again, Dave, we're back to this now. Okay. How are you able to see the future like this? And do you have tonight's lottery numbers?
No, but I know. I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to this Amen kid. Y'all have a good day.
You really? You know what you're talking about? I think you're full of shit, personally. If you want my opinion. No offense to you.
Negative.
But you trigger me, Negative.
We're not going to win another game.
He just puts way too much stock into these first game deals. I mean, that was an exhibition game.
Of course.
And of course, Cam Carr's playing against somebody who's an exhibition opponent, I'm sure, too.
Dave is such a creature of the moment, man. You can't judgment like that.
Yeah. I mean, could this team use Cam Carr scoring? Of course they could. But Cam Carr was never going to play for Rick Bonk. It just was never going to work out.
No.
I mean, both can be true. Cam Carr would never score 28 points in a game here because he wouldn't be on the floor enough to do it.
Here's a question
he doesn't play defense.
Yeah, that's the question. How many points did Cam Carr give up the other night at Baylor? I didn't watch a game. Dave, I'm going to venture to guess it was in the 20s. Because defense was optional with him. And they loved him.
Barnes was pretty upset when he left.
Well, they loved
But I guess that may have been just for depth purposes.
Scott Drew tampered with him at that Thanksgiving tournament they were both in.
That's exactly right.
Brian, was it Cam Carr that you said is like an 8-0 run for both teams? Remember when you said when somebody enters the game, he's an automatic scoring run for both teams?
I don't think
great line, Brian.
I can't remember if it was Carr or somebody else.
No, it was him. It was Brian. It was a great line. It wasn't NECA, Dave.
No, I know it was Brian. I just couldn't remember if it was Cam Carr he was talking about or somebody else.
I mean, Ament goes out and gets 18 and 9 in his first game as a freshman, and Dave's like crapping on the guy. Not going to be an efficient player. And I go, you don't know that? And instead of just going, yeah, you're right, Tony, I'm being emotional. He goes, no, I do know that. Actually, Dave, you don't know that. And you're a clown. And you're urinating me off. But let's go back to the phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt, Brian, Tony, Joshy boy.
Wings.
Guys, prayers up for Marshawn Nealon passing away. Guys, mental health matters. So prayers up for the Dallas Cowboys and Marshawn Nealon's family.
I didn't see that. Who is Marshawn Nealon? Is that a player with the Cowboys?
Yeah, he's a defensive lineman for the Cowboys. He died last night. Yeah. So what I want to get to first is I want to talk about the college football playoffs. So, Tony, we probably know that the Big 12 is possibly maybe going to get 2 in, maybe 1. ACC is going to get 1. SEC probably 4. Big 10, 3 probably. So what do you think happens, Tony, if Notre Dame ends up losing another game? Do you think the group of 5 gets another, or do you think another power conference gets another auto bid.
It'd be the SEC. The SEC would get the next
SEC.
team. Yeah. Notre Dame in with the 2 losses they have against the schedule they're playing is
against 2 very good teams, Texas A&M and Miami.
Yeah.
Start the season.
But their schedule, for the most part, after that, has not been very good. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, it's been bad.
Yeah.
But next Saturday, a win at Pitt. Pitt's probably going to, they're ranked. A win at Pitt would be a good resume win for them.
Well, if that's where we are, I mean, a win at Pittsburgh, sure. That's what gets you through the night.
Pittsburgh could actually beat them, though.
Sure, they could, Matt.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh's been playing really well since they made the quarterback change.
Which is crazy because the whole
that'll actually be a better win than they'll get credit for if they beat them.
You know what I like, Matt? The thing that's most idiotic about college football, the Holstein guy was thought to be one of the hot ticket items in the transfer portal early in the season, and now he's been benched.
Yeah. So, Tony, Matt, Ron, what do you guys make of it after a loss to Oklahoma? The FPI still giving us like a 30% chance to make the playoffs.
It's ridiculous, moronic, idiotic, and stupid. There's zero chance of that happening. The FPI says we have a 30% chance to make the playoffs.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
like maybe a 2% chance, maybe.
Any mathematical
That's SEC
formula,
bump is what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, you need
how high do you guys
2007 chaos.
That's right, Matt.
How high do you guys think we could get if we end the season at 9-3, maybe top 15?
I think you would need help to get there. To even come close to that number, you'd need a lot of things to happen.
That's right where the 9-3 teams were last year. You know, Ole Miss, Bama, and South Carolina were right there in that 12 to 15-ish range. So, you'd be right around 15 if you go 9-3.
But, Matt, there'd be some more impressive 9-3 teams up there over us. Because our schedule has not – we haven't played anybody.
If you beat Vandy to end the year to knock them out of the playoffs, that would be a pretty good win to end the season on.
I keep forgetting Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting.
Tony, I hate to say it, I think Josh Heupel got lucky last year in making the playoffs, guys, because if this defense wasn't elite as it was last year, we probably missed the playoffs at 9-3 or 8-4.
Wow.
Because it was Dylan Sampson and the defense that got us in the playoffs.
I don't call – no, I think it's a really solid coaching job by him. If you're going to criticize –
It was a decent coaching job.
No, it was a very good coaching job. And this year, if he gets to 9-3, that's an A-level coaching job.
Yeah, it is.
People don't want to hear that, but
if you end up going 7-5, Tony, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and probably make some coaching changes.
If he ends up going 7-5, a Bunsen burner is going to be burning under his rectum walking off that field that night, and it's going to get hotter and hotter come Sunday morning on him. No question.
Yeah. I would be really shocked if he ended up leaving, going to another school at the end of the season.
Oh, me too. But nothing in college football surprises me, Josh, because it's a crazy game.
Right.
You know?
You see where my boy Tony at Georgia Tech, he pretty much said he's staying, Brent Key.
He's perfect for that place. Why would Brent Key go anywhere? He is played there. He's perfect for them, perfect for their ethos. And, Matt, as long as he's there, they're going to be pretty formidable. That'll be a challenging game for Tennessee next year.
And they can still get to the ACC championship game, correct?
Well, sure they could. But that would be a really challenging game, Matt, because now it's going to be played in their stadium they've announced.
Yeah,
which is good.
I love it. I love that. Yes,
I love it too.
We'll see what they do at quarterback because Haynes King's kind of carried them the last couple of years, so that'll be a big loss. But
that's right.
It just depends on who they get. But no, he's really good down there.
Yep.
Got the kind of personality that should be able to get some NIL backing.
Yep.
From Tech boosters. So yeah, he's doing a really nice job there.
Yeah, it's another example of that was a hoopty job several years ago. But now that your fan base has some money and it's spread out across the country, an engineering school like that with some, captains of industry out there as Georgia Tech alums, it's just a matter of the coach resonating with those people.
Yep. Tony, out the door. You and Junior have a great time at the Flyers game tonight, but I hope you guys come home with a case of Rosseroni.
And Joshy boy, I'm going to take my orange clipboard, turn that some. Well, you know the rest, Joshy boy. You fill in the blank in your alleged mind. As we get our next call in on your TLD Logistics phone lines. Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Tony.
Hey, E, welcome in.
It's interesting what Toppmeyer has to say today, and it actually makes me think, again, drawing the parallel or drawing the comparison with Rick Barnes. You know, this is kind of where he was at the end of the fistballers era. You know, that he's still a good coach and he's a desirable commodity. And he actually got his toe in the water with UCLA, and you know we had to pay to keep him. Even though, and in the wake of that, was anybody real happy about that? Not kind of. We felt like we were paying Final Four money for something we hadn't really seen yet. But that's kind of what the market is. If you've got a good coach, you need to hang on to him. And don't get me wrong. And anything I've said about Heupel, he's a good coach. He's just not. He's not elite yet. You know, he hasn't shown that. I don't think he's. I've said all that other stuff, but I will say one thing. You were talking about him resetting and restarting his clock going to Penn State. Well, when has he ever been any good at game clock management, huh? I mean, come on. Wouldn't it be something? Wouldn't it be something if he actually did that and then decided to be good at clock management? And showed us he was good at clock management. Well, I guess that's the one thing I would say on the way out. Now, listen, enough of the negativity, enough of the Waller and that. All of that stuff. It's time for this team to pull it together, go out there and kick these last three teams in the butt, finish out strong. Because I think he can do it. I think this team can do it. That's really all I had.
It'd be a great year, Hey, it'd be a great year to go 8-9-3. People don't want to hear that, and I appreciate you. It was going to be an incredible year to go 10-2. With everything that happened here, I mean, you've never seen McCoy. Gibson got hurt against Syracuse. You're down a couple defensive linemen, down an offensive lineman. You couldn't introduce your freshman early in the year, which cost you the Oklahoma game back. By the way, Matt, we didn't even talk about that, did we? The fact that kid didn't play early in the year.
That he missed the first month and a half of the season, yeah.
That didn't help against Oklahoma when you're playing a man out there. Because that R. Mason Thomas guy, when you turn the wrong way, he went and took the football from you and took your lunch money. Completely different game if you get down there and kick a field goal. Probably talking about a win. Probably talking about, do we want to see Vanderbilt win out so that game's an elimination game in Neyland Stadium? That's probably what we're talking about today. And maybe still some of the Heupel, Woody jumped to another job. And, that's an interesting thing, Matt. Do you think if, like another school comes a-calling, that our boosters are going to belly up to the bar and give him a huge raise, Matt? Or you think they would let him go? That would be really crazy to watch here. Because it's going to happen here, there, or anywhere. This kind of thing is going to happen.
I mean, I would guess you would keep him. I don't know what school would, how much a school would offer and come at him for. We talk about Heupel not being that cutthroat guy with assistants and some of the recruiting and all that might ultimately be his flaw. But wouldn't that kind of be a positive in a situation like this where he's not one of these cutthroat coaches that's looking to jump to the next spot he gets? Like, I feel like Heupel's personality is kind of one of the guys that doesn't really look to do that, to make a lateral move to restart his clock. He doesn't seem to be the cutthroat guy that would do something like that.
A creature comfort guy, right? Likes to be comfortable. That's a pretty good stick by you. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in on the TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. You're on the air.
Okay, does the Dave guy not realize that the Ament kid's like a top 5 pick in the draft?
He doesn't care about that.
Does that not register?
He does not care about that.
I mean, would you rather have that kind of kid or not have that kind of kid on your team? I don't know. He's the highest ranked player ever to play here. Close to it. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Tony, in the blog today, you're taking a dump all over Lane Kiffin about last year because we're trying to distract the Tennessee season. What are we doing here?
Matt, how would Tennessee fans have handled it if Kiffin would have done that? I'm just asking for a friend.
Different job.
Well, it's kind of like Tennessee's season this year.
We have
it did happen. It did happen in
lose at home to
2022,
Kentucky.
Tony. He went over and lost to South Carolina by 100 points. It's very similar. Had a playoff spot wrapped up, and he lost to South Carolina.
12-team and 4-team. Come on, Mark. You're living in a dream world.
Well, we were going to the playoffs.
Mark, do you want to compare the two?
Were we not?
Mark, do you want to? Do you do math?
That South
Mark?
Carolina team was better than Kentucky.
Come on, Mark. Do you do math?
Oh yeah, that Kentucky
better.
loss is abysmal that he had last year. That was a joke. That was ridiculous. That loss. But we're putting in the blog now to try to take a dump on Lane.
No. I
love it.
No, here's the moral of the story. The moral of the story is we always see the flaws in our own coaches, and we desire another team's coach. Because our fan base has a facet, including you, has a fascinating. And I like Lane Kiffin. I think he can win a national championship here. So I'm not going to be.
Well, he's not coming. He's not coming here, Tony. He'll take the LSU or Florida job before he comes here. I mean, but I hear you. Yeah, he'd be. I'd love him back here.
I don't know about that. I think he loves it here, and I don't think he knows those other two places. He loves it here.
I'll say this about him: he's 50 years old, and he has often said, "I needed Ole Miss more than Ole Miss needed me." He's been very appreciative of everything he's gotten there, obviously, but he doesn't owe them anything. And does he want to spend the rest of his coaching career at Ole Miss? Does he want to live in Oxford for the rest of his life? I mean, I could see a situation where he leaves. Definitely. But I just don't know, like I've said 1,000 times, I just don't know how you do it when you're in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. There's no way that stays quiet if he's got a, agreement with Florida, or he's not going to LSU, but with agreement with Florida. Like,
you know what?
Keith
I don't
Carter,
get? Yeah,
Keith Carter wouldn't let him coach the freaking playoff game. Say bye, Pete Golden. You're the coach for the playoffs. I mean,
you know,
going to sabotage a playoff appearance? I don't think so.
How do we, in this era?
Well, Saban made him leave before the championship game that one.
That's right.
It probably cost him that game, to be honest.
How do you let yourself get in this spot as a sport, guys, when that's how you're sports oriented? Your whole calendar, just the whole thing, just everything about college football is just so sped up and so idiotic now.
Yeah. Tony.
And how about Penn State and Brian Hartline? A guy that got demoted last year. I know he's a great coordinator. He
didn't get demoted.
He didn't what?
He didn't get demoted.
He didn't what? What was
he was never the OC,
the year before
Tony.
that? Yeah, no, that's not true. The year before that, he was calling plays. That's not true.
He was not ever calling plays.
You know he was the offensive coordinator. Plays. You know that.
Tony,
come on.
Ryan Day was calling plays.
Oh,
then he said, I got to focus more on the whole team and hired Chip Kelly, who he knew had a long relationship with.
But who was the offensive coordinator the year before
Brian
that?
Hartline is sort of calling plays.
But who was the
he got
offensive?
a co-OC title on his for his resume.
So they're going to.
And the thought by these schools is
a co-OC.
We'll get to import Ohio State's wide receiver room.
You're going to hand a co-OC a head coaching job. Okay. In your league.
Tony, where are the other candidates? I mean, Tony, there's not like this long list of candidates.
In your league, Colombo. In your league.
And the thought is we'll import the wide receiver room. This is the tinfoil hat that's never going to happen. But Penn State is an Adidas school, and Jeremiah Smith is an Adidas athlete. And maybe they work out something, but I don't see it.
And what about what Blake Toppmeyer says about a guy like Heupel getting involved at a place like Penn State?
I mean, is he reporting that, or is this just all kind of speculation?
He's just saying that it would make
Opinionate.
sense. Yeah.
It's an April Fool's joke.
I mean, he's probably going to use it for leverage if he could, somehow get it out there that they're interested.
Yep.
Try to get it if his agent's any good. and gets more out of Tennessee. But we have the number one quarterback coming. Why would he go do a rebuild job?
And
people are going to give him a pass for this year.
I asked
the
him that, and his line
the people
was,
that aren't insane.
He's
going to get a pass.
His line was, no, I don't know that he gets a pass when you have the number one quarterback.
I mean, Tony, I'm as negative as anybody. I'm giving him a pass on the season.
No, not this season.
I knew the hand they were dealt.
It's next season that I'm concerned about, not this season.
And you go and you start the Brandon kid day one.
Yeah, but if you throw him out there and he looks like a true freshman, which is to say the kid at Michigan, they're going to fire him because they're going to say, and here's what's going to happen. They're going to go 6-6 or 7-5, and people are going to say, you can't choose your own quarterbacks. The kid better be really able to play, like, right away, like visibly able to play. Or you're going to have, like, a Dave on here saying, can't play. And that's what we're going to hear next year.
Tony, Dave's not making the hiring and firing decisions of the Tennessee head football
These
coach,
big boosters are all ridiculously impatient these days at all these schools. Come on now.
Well, I mean, he's going to get a pass for this year, and he plays Brandon next year, and they go 8-4. Okay, fine. But then the boosters need to get on him about loading the roster up for 27 and 28. That's my thing. Put a squad around this dude, and let's go. Get some players out, get some headhunters on defense that can play, and make a run at it. I'm as negative as anybody. I totally give them a pass for this year, the hand they were dealt. I think they've done pretty well.
Yeah, I do too.
If you'd have played Merklinger out there, they could have lost that
gosh.
Syracuse game. They'd be 2-6.
I think that's right.
That's just terrible.
Matt, I hate to say that out loud, but if that Merklinger guy would have been the starting quarterback, if Joey Football wasn't laying there, I mean, I hate to pick on that kid, Matt, but I think Colombo's right.
Yeah. You probably beat Syracuse, but Arkansas, Mississippi State are all in play, and McIntyre's your starter by this point. But you're flirting on missing a bowl game, for sure.
And so,
by the way, Matt, do you play Merklinger some in that New Mexico State game, or you just let him sit and simmer? Or do you give him like a half?
I play McIntyre if
McIntyre is what I meant. Half?
I let McIntyre score a couple of touchdowns for the Amachi kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'm being serious. And if you lose...
No, I am too.
If you lose...
Merklinger's not in the future. I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, he can't play at this level.
If you get to a bowl game, do you let McIntyre play in the bowl game? Like serious minutes?
I think you get him in some, but I think you owe enough to Aguilar that he's going to play in a bowl game. I think you let him play the vast majority of it, but I would like to see him play a series or two here or there.
Yep. And one thing we do have to say, Mark, is that, and it dawned on me when I was preparing the blog, is that Josh Heupel is a more accomplished coach than Lane Kiffin.
Oh.
Huh?
Okay.
Huh?
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's not?
Whatever.
He's not. How many playoff appearances does Lane have? You're the guy who likes these playoff appearances so much. How many does he have?
He's about to have one.
Is he? We'll see.
Well, Tony, they've got 4 games left, all in the state of Mississippi, and they'll be over a touchdown favorite in all of them.
We'll see.
I mean, the toughest game they probably got left is at Mississippi State. They'll be charged up to try to snatch the playoff away.
Dave said, hey, Colombo, I don't care how I meant is getting drafted. All I care about is how good he's going to be this year.
Well, top 4 or 5 picks in the draft are usually pretty good players.
Yeah, that's my... Dave
it
thinks the guy
sucks. It gives you a feeling that we, frankly, just haven't had here.
Dave thinks the guy sucks. Dave makes the guy sound like he sucks, like he's some kind of awful player. I mean, Dave, come on, man. Come on, Dave.
Who we beat for him?
Everybody.
Yeah, well, who was the primary?
It was Duke. North Carolina, Duke.
Does Duke take, when they want a guy, they usually get the entire top 10 in the country to go there?
NBA drafts on potential, Dave says. Dave, you are a real hemorrhoid. who's learned how to find YouTube.
I mean, I think, people think I'm negative. My God.
Negative!
You guys played 2 games.
Negative's declared, Matt, that he's not going to be anywhere near at the end of the year. Negative just wrote he'd be an ordinary player at Duke.
He wasn't negative on Cam Carr.
Negative!
After 1 game.
Oh, my God.
How's Akpara been so far? I only caught bits and pieces.
I love Akpara. Akpara has developed his offensive game a little bit. He still doesn't have
I knew once he got coached, he wasn't coached at Ohio State at a lick.
I think it's surprising, Matt. He's shot a couple 3 balls here early in the season and made them.
Yeah, I'm still.
It's not.
Don't think that.
It's not
the over
sustainable.
on that during the season's maybe 2.5.
Well, to Matt's point, they don't want him, obviously, but in these early season games, those guys are out there having fun, and they haven't really run anything for a Met yet. Dave, you clown! Come on, Dave. Thank you, Columbo. See, I'm not going to hang up on you today. No drums? No drums. See? I let him go there. He hung up on me.
If Negative were doing the hiring and firing, I don't know if Heupel makes it through past the Pitt game his first year.
That's exactly right. These snap judgment people, if that's going to be your, there's being a snap judgment person, and then there's something that I've never thought would come out of my mouth, Bri, which is you got to let it play out. But truly, this guy's a true freshman. And Negative, I love you. I think you're a sportsman. I think you know your stuff. Okay, I think you're way too emotional, but I do think you make sense when you say about the Rice guy. Is it better to have a more developed product to pair when you're short a 2 guard than to have a high ticket item who feels like a luxury item for this team with the front line they have? I think that is a fair point that he's making, Matt. I really do. But Dave, I think Rick Barnes thinks this guy is as special a freshman as he's seen since, dare I say, Kevin Durant. He loves this guy. He's in love with him. I think, Dave, I'm going to try, and Barnes realized he's only getting him for a year, and Barnes went to the Haslams and begged them to pony up for this guy. I think I'm going to side with Barnes in this one, Dave. Just this one, though, over you. Just this one. My God. What a brain donor. Hello and welcome into the next call. You're on the air.
Man, you have to be the biggest dumbass when Come On Columbo is calling you out for your stupid takes.
How about that? We've reached a new threshold here, Matt. Because Columbo's
the best, but he admits he's negative a lot of the time. And for him to call out the stupidity of Negative on Ament is just, that has to ring in Dave's ear saying, oh, maybe that turns a light bulb. I am the most overreactive and simple-minded caller in the history of sports radio. Small Mike can't touch him.
Wow. Woo! Woo! Wow, what can I say?
Oh, hey, I think Barnes will be better. I think Ament will be better than Kennedy Chandler as a freshman in March. That's my guess.
Hope you're right.
He'll 19-8, his first game out when we're not running anything for him. We're not really running any sets offensively to isolate him and to spread the court for him. We're not doing any of that type of stuff. Guys, 2 ball games. He shot it poorly against Duke. What? And every time he got to the paint, which he got to the paint at will versus Duke, he was running into 3 extra defenders because we were clogging up the middle. God, it's so obvious.
And it was literally grade school ball. We weren't running anything for him.
Yeah, so. We were playing YMCA ball, man.
Yep.
It was just pickup ball, and Duke was trying to win. Shire was running every set they could to isolate Boozer.
Yes, he
and
was.
give him driving lanes.
Yes, he was.
And we were just playing backyard basketball. Hey, Barnes did say specifically, he went out of his way to point out in the preseason when he was interviewed, there's copy of it out there. Okpara and JP can shoot threes, and they will. Okpara got pulled in the first half the other night against Gardner Webb or whoever it was we played for turning down a wide open three. Barnes jerked him.
What do you think about that, Matt? You buying or selling that take?
I hope it's accurate. Yeah, because if you can stretch the floor just a little bit with your bigs, it opens up so much. So I hope it's at least enough of a threat to where teams have to defend it. It'd be a very welcome change.
This Estrella guy is so talented. It's a shame that his body hasn't cooperated because he's a immensely talented guy.
He's an absolute stud, man. He just needs more run. I think you're going to see Okpara and him play together a ton when things really start mattering. We're going to go with those two bigs playing a ton of minutes, and you can space the floor with them. And then suddenly a minute, getting to the rim, there's nobody helping. They're fine. Hey, football. The great Jordan Moore sent this to me at 5 a.m. my time because he forgets I'm 3 hours behind him every morning and sends me a bunch of stats and stuff. God bless him. He sent me 3 possessions this year in football games. Tell to tell. Georgia, we get a strip sack fumble, up 5 points, and we false start before we snap a down. So we're in 1st and 15. We run it 3 times and settle for a field goal. At Alabama, we get a strip sack fumble, and we immediately shoot ourselves by snapping the ball past the quarterback when nobody was set except the center. And then in Oklahoma, we get a forced fumble, and we immediately run it 3 times and have to punt it back to them. Those in a game where we were up 1 against Oklahoma, we were down 6 to Alabama in the situation, and we were down 9, and then we were up 5 on Georgia. We were all in close ball games, and we forced turnovers, and then our offense runs it and has to punt it back.
Razor thin, man. Razor thin, my brother, and I appreciate you. Razor thin. 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome. You're on the air. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to point out that's been a very curious thing this year with our team is our offense can go up and down the field on teams, but when the defense finally gets a stop or creates a big turnover and gives them a short field, we don't take advantage at all. That's very odd. That's happened numerous times this year. Just a strange deal that there's got to be some correlation there. I'm not sure what it is, but it's like I think the one against Oklahoma was our first 3 and out of the game.
And looking back on it, that's why you lose a Georgia game. Looking back on it, I mean, now that you autopsy that game, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to score in that spot.
Yeah, and you were going to score there with even on a run play. You just whiffed on the blocks on the play.
Yeah, and then after the game, we're blaming the coach and we're doing this, and of course, I'm guilty of that myself. Hello and welcome in. You're on our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. Hi.
Hey, Tony, it's David Ackworth.
Hey, Ackworth, welcome in, buddy.
Hey, well, I was gonna roll out a new name for Nega Dave, but man, I don't want to pile on anymore. He's been piled on tonight.
Poor guy.
I think I'll save that for some other show.
Oh, trust me. I think he likes to play the hits. Let's put it that way.
Well, let's say this. It hit me finally who he reminded me of the other day when I was watching some show on TV, and it's Eeyore off of Winnie the Pooh. He reminds me so much of Eeyore, it's not even funny. It's the most depressing, down-sounding guy I've ever heard in my life. And every time I hear him, when he first says his name, that's all I can think of is hearing Eeyore say his name on Winnie the Pooh. It just has that ring to it. I don't know.
I love him. His friends tell him he's a real downer too, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, hey, like you said, it's not a bit, and I'll say this: he makes me more positive about Tennessee sports because I listen to him and think, golly bum, I don't want to be that way. I don't want to look at my sports through that lens, and goodness knows I've done that plenty of times throughout my life. Watching Tennessee play a multitude of sports, but it almost has made me a little bit more, give me a much more positive outlook, and at least be able to go, okay, I can't do that, I just can't. So I'm glad he's there. It's kind of like he kind of represents an alter ego or something.
Yes,
that I don't have to show.
It's a great point. Great point.
I'll say real quick on football. I haven't had a chance to call since just before the game. If I never see another delayed blitz by a linebacker or cornerback in Tennessee history, it'll be too soon. I don't think I've ever seen a delayed blitz get home, and all they do is they end up just running into the line of scrimmage and doing nothing, and it just takes guys away. Mateer's first run for the first big run I think it was the first quarter, or it may have been early in the second quarter. That it was. I forgot what the distance would be. He gained like 20-something yards. We had a guy in the middle of the field. I don't know who it was. He delays blitzes, but instead of running straight up to the quarterback, straight through the wide open lane that the quarterback, he veers off to the right and runs into the offensive lineman. And Mateer has a wide open middle of the field to run. I didn't see the play. Is the other one that you were talking about, where it's like 3rd and 16 and he got a first down? I didn't see that one, but that one in the first half just drove me nuts. I'm like, where is that guy going? It's like he was purposely avoiding the quarterback, and we do that all the time with our delayed blitzes. They never go anywhere.
Is this Matt the kind of stuff people talk about when they say we're not lining up properly?
Yeah, stuff like that. Now the delayed blitzes, I agree with that too. But that's just being aggressive and trying to do something that's not worked in 5 years. I agree there too. But yeah, the stuff where you're spying and you're just misaligned, or you run to you drop too deep in a zone to where you're giving up a first down. And it's just stuff that looks so basic, and there's just a lack of awareness on players' parts. And I don't know whether that's coaching or what, but I mean, the 3rd and 20 that we've talked about a bunch, I think it was Joseph's. He beat the tackle and just whiffed on Mateer, and Mateer had literally 25 yards to run from. And a defensive end, running past the quarterback on a 3rd and long shouldn't automatically equal a first down run. And there was literally nobody on that side of the field. And I just don't know how that's possible. So, and it happens all the time, like Dave said.
Well, that was a recurring theme, like going back to that Kentucky game, because we were all commenting on how much green grass, once you broke contain, how much green grass is out there. It's insane.
Yeah. And that's why I know you've argued the opposite point. I think, Matt, you're probably on my side. You don't take that 3rd down penalty and give them a chance to go convert a 3rd and long, because we're literally the worst in the country at it, Tony. We're the worst team in the country.
I'm moving you out of field goal range. I'm making you make a play.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I think it's one of those Monday morning quarterback call things where you can look at it. If we were just decent at 3rd and long, I would say yes. But we're the worst in the country.
But we're playing an offense that can't play.
To me, that right there just tells you, you do that, they convert, go down and score a touchdown, and you're gonna, the worst thing you did there was give up 3. And and I'm gonna jump real quick to basketball. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna love watching this season play out, because for the first time we had this really inexperienced backcourt that in years past, where we've had experienced backcourts, we brought a guy like Ament on, Barnes would almost struggle getting him into the game. And think of the Phillips kid that we had. Is it Phillips kid that we had a few years ago that was kind of his last freshman phenom that never could fit into the system because he had so many experienced guys in the program that he just didn't want to give the ball to Phillips. Is it Phillips? Am I right with that name? I'm drawing a blank.
No, I don't know. It wasn't Phillips. The guy that ended up at the school.
No, he went pro after his freshman year.
Oh, you're thinking of what was that kid's name, guys? The guy from Louisiana, the guy that was committed to LSU, the one and done guy. That's my point about this era.
Julian Phillips.
Julian Phillips. You're right. It was Phillips. Damn it.
It was Phillips.
He's with the Bulls now.
That kid really, they never could find a place for him because we had such experience in the backboards. And Barnes wasn't going to pull guys that he had so much trust in to get him that experience. He doesn't have that now. So there's almost a forced usage of Ament. I think he was going to do it anyway, but because he doesn't have that experience, all of his best players right now technically are in the front court. So I think Ament's going to get so much opportunity to grow into this job, into his position, and into his play here that Barnes would have never given anybody in the past. That Phillips guy could not get on the court. You know, he was coming in and out because they just never could find something that he could excel in and do well and play consistently because Barnes had guys behind him he trusted more. He didn't have that now, which I think is going to be great for Ament. I think it's going to be great for the program. But here it is. Get ready for Negative to call for about 6 to 8 weeks complaining about him because it's going to take probably a month into the SEC schedule before we see this team really become who they're going to be from there forward. What do y'all think about that?
I think that's highly accurate, and I appreciate the call. I think that's going to be shooting fish in a barrel for anybody. And look, Dave makes a good point about the Rodney Rice thing. In a perfect world, Rodney Rice is here, but he goes to USC and they blow him away with a $3 million offer. What are you supposed to do there? What are you supposed to do? Tie $5 million, $6 million up to two guys? I mean, you tell me. What were they supposed to do there? I know this on the way out, that my friends at VIP Play, ladies and gentlemen, you will claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. You bet $20. You get $100 in bonus bets. Tonight, my Philadelphia Flyers are in Nashville. The money line there would be a great bet for you. A great bet for you. Promo code is TNTony. Again, TNTony. And remember, they're live always, 200-plus leagues. All kinds of props, options, you name it. They've got you covered. At VIP Play, got a pretty decent card tonight. Your NBA, cross your NHL. Some college ball as well. Brian, you're the man. By the way, if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over. Located in the great state of Tennessee to place a bet. Boys, any final thoughts? Matt or Brian, any final thoughts here?
Well, just have a good time down at the house that the Preds built.
There you go. House that Pete Weber built. Pete and Shea Weber.
Have fun, Tone.
The Plaster built.
Plaster saved the franchise. Boys, love you. Thanks. I will have fun. I will have fun. Till we meet again, for all those behind the scenes, my name is Basilio. I appreciate you being there. I thank you. I love you. If you're over on YouTube, give us a like. That helps people find us. Tell a friend. We need help with some tickets. Help us. We're about 100 short. Love you. Love your show. Peace. And G to the B to the O. And whatever you do, make sure you listen tomorrow, because... Why? Because it's Bino. We love you. We thank you. We appreciate you. We support you. It's pretty incredible. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead without further ado and run today back. As I thank my friends at TLD Logistics. They're online at tldlogistics.com. It's pretty amazing God, that was a fast, and I mean a fast 3 hours today. Some are faster than others. Today's show was a quicken. It was a quicken. And again, some are faster than others. Thank you to Blake Toppmeyer and all the wonderful conversation.
Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Let's freaking go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fire this thing up. Let's focus this thing. Let's prepare it. We have the technology, bigger, faster, stronger. We've got TGMD in the house along with Brian Hartman. Hopefully C will join at some point today. C, if you're out there, we love you. Hopefully he'll jump in and join us at some point today. It's an utterly outstanding day to be alive and well with you. I'm fired up because I'm heading down to see the fly bump on.
Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next.
You're listening to FM 105.